I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment. Whatever I have resurrected through this book is sure to come calling for me.
This place is cursed. Cursed.
It's got a death curse.
He wants you to, Malachi.
Oh, you're so cool, Brewster. I can't stand it.
Get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
Hi, this is Danielle Harris, and you're watching Death Curse Society.
Welcome to another Monday Maniacs from Death Curse Society, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Red Crank. I got the Colonel. I got Zigzag. What is up, boys?
What the fuck is up? Colonel flipping the bean there when we come on the air. I love it. You know, it seems to be in rare form tonight. He was dead on with the clap at the start of the song. I think Colonel is going to be fucking on tonight, man. I'm excited.
It's the power of the shirt, dude.
It's the shirt, dude. It must be the shirt.
Very nice, very nice. Later on, gang, we've got horror aficionado Mr. Sean Clark going to join us. He is there's nothing this guy pretty much has not done. Writing, producing, behind the scenes stuff, Horror's Hallowed Ground,
Yeah.
The Thing with Two Heads with Christopher Nelson, convention bookings. Yeah.
He's a true pioneer in this whole horror celebration. So, I mean, this guy's got stories. We're going to try to get to it, and who knows? We might even uncover some controversies tonight. We don't know what's going to happen. But it's been a long time coming with this guy, man. So we've been trying to get him, just the schedules just never line up. And, damn, we caught him the week of Horror Hound, and he is a huge, integral part of Horror Hound, so it's perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm kind of freaking out. It's literally 4 days away, gentlemen. House dirt. I'm like, fuck, I got a lot of fucking cleaning I got to do.
Right. As always, we got to thank our members real quick. Thanks to our final girls, Corey, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, S. Michael, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone. And our crazy Ralphs, Raymond, who we're going to be seeing soon up in Cincinnati.
No honeycomb beer.
No honeycomb beer.
Killer Clown this year, so.
That's going to be like cotton candy tasting or some
bullshit. Cotton candy fucking ale. Oh, shit.
No.
I'll try it.
And our camp counselors, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I think tonight is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get into the backstory of Sean Clark a little bit, because, you know, we've seen him literally at every damn con that we go to almost.
All of them.
We always run into him, and we always, you know, say hey, and the look of recognition has grown over the years. Like, you guys are at as many of these as I am now. So not quite, but you know, we're getting there.
I think that's it, man. Maybe we've stood that test of time. Finally, we've aged enough to where they're like, I guess these fucking assholes are going to keep coming back. We might as well include them. Let's do it. Fuck. That's right. No, it's cool. Just there is one con we've never seen him at, just some little thing out west somewhere, a little bit, but it's all right. You know, there's nothing going on there that he would need to be involved with. Anyway,
I see what Jimmy asked me, or asked down here. He says, "Is Red Crank standing up in this video? His body is off center." No, that's the background, man. That's just the background that I'm hovering over a little bit. It does look kind of weird though.
Looks like it's like Belial from Basket Case or something, man. What the fuck is going on here?
A little bizarre. Well, we're not going to waste any more time because I want to get right into it with this guy. I'm really excited. Like I said, host of The Thing with Two Heads, host of Horror's Hallowed Ground, convention booker, writer, producer, kind of a director if you count featurettes. Here he is, guys. Sean Clark. Hey, welcome to the show.
What's up?
Look at this guy. Represent. Fuck yeah.
Representing, that's right.
Yeah, represent. Nothing.
Even the Colonel's representing tonight.
Finally, welcome, man. All this time we've been trying this. Finally, he's here.
What do you mean, finally? It's the first time you asked me.
We wanted to for a long time, but...
But I mean, when you asked me, I said yes.
Yeah.
It kept being like the schedule thing. Well, when can we get him? Well, this works here. I mean,
I'm a busy guy.
Yes. Yeah. If you see our schedule too, it's like, it's months and months out. It's like, man, really? And can we move any of this? It's like, no.
Well, and this is perfect because it's 4 days before Horror Hound, and we know we're going to see you there. I hope anyway.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah. Believe me, that's all I've been doing is prepping for that damn show. That's always my biggest one of the year. I think I've got 20 plus clients in that show. So all that shit you see on their tables and behind them, I drag that shit there. So, anyway.
I want to dig into that. But before we get into like what you're doing now, I want to know about young Sean. What was young Sean like growing up? Was he a fan of the holiday Halloween? When did he get into horror movies? Things like that.
Oh, God. I mean, as far back as I can remember. I mean, literally as far back as I can remember, I was obsessed with Halloween, the holiday, and horror films in general. My parents were relatively young. They had me at like 17 and 18. So they took me they were into horror movies, so they took me, and even though I think they thought I was too young to know what was going on or understand them, I remember them. I mean, I saw The Exorcist in the drive-in when it opened, in like 74. I was like 4 years old, but I remember it. I saw Jaws in the theater opening run. I definitely remember Jaws. That one's fucked me up. And but Halloween, yeah, I was born in Anchorage, Alaska, believe it or not, and and I remember my earliest memories of trick or treating by my grandma's house in Anchorage. I loved it, man. It was magical. And I moved to California when I was 6, so I've lived in Southern California since I was 6. But that's always been, that was my holiday, man. And then growing up, it was funny because I want to say about 1980, this is pre-cable TV. They used to have. Who's the oldest in the group here? How old are you?
I'll be 51 in November.
Okay, so you should know this because I am 51.
Yes.
I'll be 52 in a couple weeks. But before cable, they used to have I don't know what you'd call them, but they were like boxes movie boxes that were just one channel. There was a movie channel. There was On TV, Select TV, and the Z channel. And my family had Select TV, and my friends had the Z channel or had On TV. But every Halloween on Select TV, they used to do these horror movie marathons, and I would go trick or treat. And then get back to the house as quickly as I could to watch the horror movie marathon.
Yep.
And I've been trying like crazy. I don't know if I have them handy. Let me see. Let me see if I have them. Yeah, I do. Check it out.
Yeah, look at this.
Already getting something out of the collection.
Yeah.
I love it.
This is going to go.
I've been trying to collect these old Select TV guides.
Oh my Lord, I remember those. Yeah.
I'm trying to get them for October. But some of these are so awesome. Like, let me show you like some of the highlights in these. But that's where I discovered. That's where I discovered a lot of my horror films. Right here's Magic right there. Magic. I know there's some good ads here. And check this out. I mean, come on. Hell Night, Happy Birthday to Me, Halloween. I mean, these were. How about that one? Check out that Halloween 2 one.
Oh, dude!
God, look at that, man.
How cool is that?
See, that's some good stuff. You said Select TV because over here in Michigan we had On, and then the other one was It TV.
Oh, I don't remember It.
It was probably the same thing as Select, but on HBO we had the HBO, and it was at 8:00 at night. You would flip the switch to go off the UHF channel.
Yep.
And I'll never forget that first Fright Night, whatever they called it on HBO.
Halloween 3.
And the 4 movies they picked: Last House on the Left, He Knows You're Alone, Friday the 13th, and Schizoid was the 4 they ran at the first one. It had to be 1980.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember. Let me put these back. I remember specifically seeing The Fog for the first time on Select TV, Tourist Trap, Last House on the Left. I remember Last House on the Left fucked me up. I remember that one was like, that one fucked me up. But yeah, and I remember, I think I saw Halloween on Select TV for the first time, because the first time I saw Halloween was in the drive-in theater, but it's kind of a weird situation. My parents went to see another movie, and I was watching Halloween out the back window at the other screen. So I was watching it without sound, which actually made it even scarier because I'm just seeing this guy in a white mask walking around. It freaked the fuck out of me. But that was the first time seeing Halloween was with no sound, but then I saw it on Select TV. But yeah, that was a thing, man. I was hooked. And my Aunt Robin, my dad's sister, she's the one who would take me to horror films. Because it seemed like there was a point there where my parents kind of got out of it, and so we used to have this thing where she would like, I don't know if she was babysitting me or whatever it was, but I would go, hey, could you take me to this movie? And I remember she took me to Friday 13th Part 2. The one that sticks out in my mind the most magical, if I could go back to any night at a movie theater and relive it, it was the night she took me to see Halloween 2. And I was so pumped because I'd seen the original Halloween, loved it, and it was playing with this movie I hadn't heard of, but the movie that played before Halloween 2 that night was The Funhouse. And I fell in love with The Funhouse. So that double feature was the bomb, man. I was just blown away. And then like 2 weeks later, I went with another friend to another theater and saw Halloween 2 on a double feature with an American Werewolf in London.
Oh, geez.
Damn.
Yeah, and I mean, those were just magical, moments,
Yeah. Will there ever be another horror decade like the 80s? Let me just get that out of the way.
No. It's, the problem is now everything has been, there's too much. I hate to say it. I mean, with streaming and everything, there's too much content. I bet you there's so many fucking amazing gems that are sliding under the radar that none of us know about. But who has the time to watch it all? Because you have to filter through so much garbage to get to the good stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't have that fucking patience anymore. I'm too old. I can't deal with that shit. It's like, I'll give something a chance, but I have to be at this age and how busy I am. And I've got stacks and stacks of fucking Blu-rays back here I haven't even opened of shit I love, I'm starting to get to the point in my life where I'm like, how much can I do in what little bit of time left I have on this fucking planet? I know people my age that are dropping dead, heart attacks at my age, just dropping dead. And it's like, fuck, man. Well, I want my last theatrical experience to be, some piece of shit, No, I want to go out happy, Although I will say this, I don't know, do you guys know who Eric Caden was? Eric Caden used to run Hollywood Book and Posters in LA. Okay. It was a famous shop that's been there. I mean, I used to go there in the 80s and buy shit.
Is it legit? It's legit, isn't it? Because I do have something from that store, but I've always been questioned. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. Well, now it's not. I mean, it's shut down, and now it's opened in the back of a little store, and it's run by someone else. But anyway, Eric Caden was just the textbook example of cinephile. I mean, the guy lived and breathed movies. And he would go to the movies by himself. He went to a film festival in Palm Springs and was watching a movie by himself, had a heart attack in the theater, died. And they found him after the movie ended. But how beautiful is that, though? He died doing what he loved. You know what I mean? If I'm going to go, I'd love to go like that. He was literally doing what he loved when he died, So.
Yeah. Poetic in a way.
Yeah. I mean, sad, but at the same time, I'd rather hear that than he got hit by a car,
Yeah. Hopefully it was like a really intense jump scare or something that earned it, you know what I mean?
I hope it was a good movie. I don't know what he was
I just hope it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But our viewers are so good, they're already poaching some of the questions I had prepared. Here's Patricia with one. Sean, what's your favorite Halloween costume growing up?
Oh, wow. Where are the questions? Are they being? Is this live? Oh, this is live.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know it was.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So.
Okay. So where are the questions being posted on YouTube or Facebook? Both.
Both. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't try to follow it then.
This one's on. This one's from Facebook.
My favorite Halloween costume growing up. I would say. I mean, as much as I loved the Ben Cooper, the old school Ben, I know I went as a stormtrooper one year, Gene Simmons from Kiss, and those were the old school Ben Coopers. But the one that I did myself that I thought looked awesome, and in my mind, I always thought it looked awesome until my grandma found a picture of me in the costume. It was me as a baseball fury from the Warriors, and and it looked nothing like. I mean, it was literally like smeared some makeup on my face, and I had a baseball bat, and I mean, you know, it was pretty bad. But
That's how original, though, to think that far out of it, that young, to come up with something that obscure, really. You know what I mean? Because the Warriors was out, but I mean, it didn't really. Again, we didn't have the streaming like and shit we have now, so you saw it on Select TV or something like that, and took it from there.
Yeah, I think I saw it on. I think it was either it probably was Select TV, because I think it was a little too early for cable. But I remember whether it was Select TV or cable, I remember I was counting how many times I watched it, and I remember I watched it 14 times because it just kept playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those would loop 3 or 4 times a day on Select and It TV.
It TV double feature was the Warriors, Escape from New York, and they just kept going back to back to back. That's all I fucking needed, man. Yeah, that's all I needed.
Ziggy, you got a early years question for Sean?
I'm kind of more getting into his con stuff like that, getting that started and everything. I guess I can go there. We can move around. We don't have to stay specific anywhere.
All right, fine.
The research I looked around, and it's what I came up with. Essentially, you just made some business cards and started pitching yourself as a booker like that. I mean, and who was the first one that said, "All right, I'm in. I'll try it"?
No, that's not how it happened.
Okay,
see.
I mean, and that's why I had to ask. You know, there's a lot of bullshit press out there, man.
Yeah, no. What happened is, I mean, I've been going to conventions since the late '80s. And I somehow always got myself involved. A little bit later, I kind of got myself involved as a vendor. But then ultimately what did it was I partnered up with 2 other guys to do the Halloween 25th anniversary convention in Pasadena. That was in 2003. And one of my... I guess one of the things I was in charge of at that show was booking talent. So I was going around trying to find out how to get a hold of all these Halloween stars. And so through that process, I accumulated all these people's information. And then we moved on to the idea, always the original idea at that convention was, hey, let's document this and do a Halloween documentary. Mm-hmm. And that became Halloween 25 Years of Terror, which Anchor Bay put out. So I was also in charge of getting celebrities to participate in that documentary. So I was finding more people. And through that, at the same time, I became a journalist, and I was writing for a website called Creature Corner. And it was literally me, a guy named Johnny Butane, and another guy named Ryan Rotten, which many of you now know as Ryan Turek from Blumhouse. So it was us 3. And one of the things I was kind of tasked was going to conventions and reviewing them for the website. So I started becoming closer with promoters and getting to know them, and then through that, I then found Tony Moran by complete. I know he has conflicting versions of this story, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the sober one. This is what happened. This is what really happened. So I was working at a mortgage company. I was a loan officer, and I was talking to I don't remember, it was a broker or somebody I was talking to, and you got to know these guys pretty well. And I used to talk about horror movies all the time. I'm a horror movie nerd. And one day this guy goes, "Oh, you're into horror movies, right? You're a big horror movie guy." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "The guy that plays Michael Myers works here." And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." And he's like, "No, I'm serious." I go, "Oh, yeah, what's his name? What's his name?" "Tony Moran." I went, "Are you fucking kidding me? We've been looking for this guy because we wanted him for the documentary, but we couldn't find him." So I said, "Hey, man, could you tell him, that, here, I'm a guy that, you know, you do business with. I'm a loan officer. Would he be willing to just have a conversation with me, you know? And so he tells him, and from what he told me afterwards, he said, yeah, you know, I like to keep that part of my life private. I usually don't tell anybody about it. But this guy said you were a good dude, and I figured I'd just talk to you. And I told him, I said, hey, man, you know, would you ever consider doing an interview? You know, because I'm a journalist. I would love to write an article on where you've been, you know, and like do an interview you. And, you know, and he was very reluctant at first, but he was like, okay, you know, let's, you know, okay, sure. I said, so do you mind if I come meet you somewhere and sit down and I'll record it and, you know, we just have a conversation? And he said, sure. So he wanted me to meet him at his office, whatever loan office he worked at. I remember it being like Sherman Oaks or something. So I drove there. We went into a boardroom, had privacy in the big empty boardroom, and I interviewed him, and it went over really well. And at the end of it, I said, hey, I don't want to be too much of a fanboy, but I brought a couple of things. Would you mind signing them for me? And he goes, are you serious? And I said, yeah. And I go, I left them in the car. And he goes, well, I'll walk you out, you know, and I'll sign them. So we go out to the car, and you know, his story is I brought like 12 things. I brought 2 things. I brought a poster and an 8x10. I remember vividly. And he signed them, and he said to me, he goes, I've never in my life signed a Halloween autograph ever. I'm all, this is the first thing you've ever signed? He's like, yeah.
Wow.
Now, was he bullshitting? I take everything he says for granted these days, but that's what he said at the time. So I said to him, I go, you know, man, I go, there are these horror conventions that, I mean, fans would love to meet you. I mean, you know, yeah, you were only in the movie 3 seconds, but you are the face of Michael Myers. I said, it's something to be proud of. It's significant. And he's like, no. I said, dude, I know a guy who's putting on a show in LA here, local, in a couple months. You know, if you want to just try it, if you don't like it, just go home. You know, it's like you're literally just driving down the street, you know? So he agreed to try it. He tried it. He loved it. The first show he ever did, it was called Necro Comic Con. It was put on by a guy named Evan McGarr, who does Mad Monster Party.
Okay.
I know the story that Tony tells was another guy and another show. He's got it completely wrong, but no, it was a guy named Evan McGarr. And so he did it and he loved it. And he was like, dude, I'd love to do more of these. You know, could you know, I'd love to get in another. I go, the one you should do is Chiller. I know the promoter. Let me talk to him. So I called Kevin and he said, yeah, absolutely. Also, Tony tells a story I've heard several times that at that show, Erin Moran was there and that she walked up to the table and she looked at him, looked at the banner, I've seen him tell the story a few times that she had no clue he ever played Michael Myers. That didn't happen. She wasn't there. I don't know where he gets the story from, but that never happened. Not at Chiller, at least, because I was there. She was not a guest.
No one ever accused Tony of embellishing at all.
Yeah. Well, and anybody who wants, actually, Chiller keeps a history on their website of every guest at every show. Feel free to look back, and when he appeared at the first time, she's not on that guest list. So, if you want to cross-reference. So, he had a blast. He made a killing. Couldn't believe it. And he was like, dude, could you get me more of these? And that's the point where I was like, is there something there? Now, there was one other guy that I knew was an agent and booked people into conventions. And I was friendly with him. So one night at the hotel bar, I just asked him, I said, hey, how do you make money doing this? Like, how does this work? And he stupidly told me. Then I was like, the thing that clicked with me wasn't making money. It was they'll fly me in and put me up, and I get to go to the convention for free. I was like, dude, sign me up, you know? Yeah. And so you know, that was the thing. I mean, I loved going to conventions. So I was like, man, if I can, I'll book him or somebody else into a show and they're going to fly me in and give me a hotel room and a free ticket. So that's how it started. And as soon as I thought to myself, well, can I get more people? I went through that Rolodex of people from the Halloween convention. And before you knew it, I had 50 clients. They were all from Halloween movies. I was the Halloween guy.
Nice.
So I started doing it. And then the crazy thing started to happen. I started to make money. And I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And I was really not happy in the mortgage job. And then I found myself going into work every day, spending more time trying to book conventions than I was trying to sell loans. So at some point I just said, you know what, I gotta make the decision to either go all in or, you know, and I did. But when I made that decision, mind you, I was also trying to be a filmmaker. And right at that same time, I was just on the cusp of getting that movie I did, Black Waters of Echo's Pond. I was just about to get that greenlit, and literally it all happened at the same time. So I quit my day job and went right into making a movie and booking full time. So
nice,
That's awesome.
Yeah. The movie part didn't work out so well.
I just watched that today, actually.
Oh, did you? Oh, wow.
I did. It was worth a view.
I agree. I think I'm not embarrassed by it whatsoever. I mean, I didn't direct it. I wrote it and produced it.
Right.
But you know, it's a fun little film. It's worth watching once, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of a cross between like April Fool's Day and Jumanji is how I saw it.
Yeah,
How close?
Jumanji, yeah.
How close did they get to your actual vision that you wrote?
Pretty close, I think. I mean, there were a lot of corners cut. You know, I learned a lot. I mean, here's the thing. I got really lucky because as a first-time writer, even as a seasoned writer, rarely are you even allowed on set. Mm-hmm. I was there working every day, and the director, who had no knowledge of horror whatsoever, he literally said, Sean, I want you here by my side at all times to let me know if I'm doing something that's not horror. And I'm like, okay, I'll do my best. So, I mean, I ended up, you know, kind of co-directing, but, you know, there was a lot of stuff. There was whole segments of the film that, like, oh, hey, we lost this location. You need to rewrite it for something else. And the location was extremely significant. Like, I mean, there was this whole thing. Okay, you saw the movie today. The whole thing with the two twins and going after the girl, that was actually supposed to take place inside of an abandoned ship that was like crashed, like an old wreckage on a shore. They had found this old ship and we were supposed to shoot there, and then it fell through at the last minute. So they're like, can you come up with something else? And I'm like, I'm looking around like, that's here, and we're out in the woods. Yeah. So I found this crazy concrete bridge that I was like, well, maybe we can make it where they corner her like in the middle of this bridge. And it was just, I mean, literally I wrote it like the day before we shot it. It was, you know, so
now
anyway.
I found it on Tubi after doing some research on you this weekend, and I was like, I gotta watch this before he comes on. So I enjoyed it. Obviously not the greatest film that I've seen, but
well, here's my biggest problems with it is, I mean, one thing you probably thought of just of watching it was like, who cast this Russian kid? because you know,
he was a little off.
Yeah, and hard to understand, and just so you know, his mother financed the film. So
it makes sense.
There you go.
Very common.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, there was things like that. There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but you know what? The fact that I made a movie and I just did it and had the experience. Yeah. I mean, I'd never change it for the world. It was so much fun, and it taught me a lot. And, right after that, my business, Convention All-Stars, just blew up. And that's why I never went back to film, because I started getting so busy and doing so well with the convention thing, is that, people always say, are you going to make another movie? I'm like, I don't have time.
When?
Yeah. I mean, I worked for at least a year and a half straight on that film and was paid $10,000. And that was it. Didn't see another dime. I probably spent more than that driving from South Orange County to deep in LA every day for work. I mean, it's just, but it was a lot of fun. So,
yeah.
You think the director's hat or the filmmaking hat is completely gone, or do you have a passion project that, you know what, it's there, it's in the back of your mind, it's in the stack, you just kind of see it when you walk by?
I read about one called Sugar.
Oh wow, you did the research. Yeah, Sugar was the one we were going to do next, and it had been optioned, and it went through a rewrite with another writer, and that writer just fucking just destroyed it. And I was like, well, I'm not doing that, no. So, but then the financing dropped out, and the fact that they were trying to run with the other version of the script, I was like, I'm good. But it was just a real, now mind you, so much has been done since then. I don't know if I'd even make that movie now, just because it was at that time when, nobody had really done anything like Hatchet, the old school throwback thing. Right. Now that's so played out. That's what I was doing. It was going to be an old school slasher, kind of revenge thing that would have been killer. Yes. But now people would probably like, oh, it's been done to death. But who knows? Yeah. I still like the idea, the basic idea of the film was a cool. It had everything nerds like us would have liked in it,
Now I look at scripts all the time. I was a part-time screenwriter back in the early '90s, mid '90s, and I look at some scripts on my shelf all the time that I just have sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, that would have been great in the '90s, early 2000s, but that would suck today. It's just the film world is completely different now.
Yeah, there is one script that a writing partner and I wrote called The Hanged Man that I really had a lot of we had a lot of love for, and it did get optioned too and almost got made, but it didn't happen. And the funny thing is, his name is Mike Lester. He was my writing partner prior. He didn't work on Black Waters, but prior to Black Waters. And I remember he called me up and said, "Hey, have you seen Hereditary?" And I'm like, "No." And he goes, "Go see it, and then call me afterwards." I'm like, "Why?" And he's all, "Just you'll know." And I went and watched Hereditary, and literally the ending of that film was our movie. It was the ending of our movie. I mean, like, damn it. I don't think anybody stole it. I'm not saying that. Just coincidentally, it had the exact same reveal that ours did, and I was just like, I called him up. I'm like, holy shit. He's like, right? I'm like, yep. So anyway,
mine was The Others. Somebody saw that and said, "Hey, you need to go watch this if you haven't seen it yet." And I was like, I was planning to see it tomorrow night. And sure enough, that was kind of really close to one of mine back in the day.
Yeah.
Let me hit another. Oh yeah, of course it happens.
Also very common.
Yeah, the comedians talking about, well, this comedian stole jokes for years from me. No, you think the same way sometimes. Some do, but most of the time it's just coincidence. All right. On Facebook, Catherine asks, you have some pretty cool memorabilia behind you. What's your favorite piece you've collected?
Oh, man. You got to have some sick shit, man.
Yeah.
He has the Poltergeist clown, like I told you guys last week. That's huge.
I know that, but I mean, and that's sick enough. But
I kind of always go back to the Poltergeist Clown because that's like the first significant piece I got. So I always kind of say that's my favorite. But a close runner-up would be Ajax's vest from the Warriors. And I also have his belt and belt buckle.
You hearing this, BK? BK is our Warriors super fan out there. He is.
I see you getting like
all
jealous and fanboy.
I love it too, man. That's awesome.
I'm a big Kiss fan, like early Kiss, like up to Creatures of the Night,
Yep.
And I have Ace Frehley's a stage-worn Ace Frehley's vest from Love Gun tour. So that's a favorite. And then I'm really even though it was the biggest hassle in the world, the Pillar of Souls from Hellraiser 3 was pretty it's you can't walk through my house without noticing that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That had to take some handy shipping.
What is this?
There's a whole video on it on my channel. So
yes, it's an auction. I mean, how does one?
Yeah,
hear about something? Just an auction?
It was in an auction, yeah.
Okay.
And that auction house has not been the easiest to deal with. I'm still having problems with them over another item I bought in the same auction.
Damn.
That's another video coming up. They're gonna get called out by me again. So even though they threatened to go after me legal on the Hellraiser Pillar of Souls video, I said, go for it. Good luck with that.
Bro, when you're speaking facts, they don't have anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're pissed off that I gave them an honest review of what they did. So.
By the way, Catherine, we will see you this weekend, or I will at least, hopefully. Think her and maybe her daughter are coming down to Horror Hounds, so
come on down.
That's right. Joseph Scott says Funhouse mask is one of his favorite pieces that you own, so just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, that is definitely that's up there too.
Yeah,
wait a minute, is it the prosthetic of the guy or the Frankenstein mask?
I have both.
You have both. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
This guy ain't fucking around, man. He's got both of them.
I told you.
Yeah.
All right. Colonel, what do you got for Sean here?
You guys keep commentating. Well, I see some of my questions from the viewers. I don't really want to.
Go ahead.
No. Like Luke has a good one, so I don't.
Gotcha.
Kind of what I was going to ask, so we'll give Luke credit on that.
All right. Well, go ahead. Read it.
This is Sean, what was your favorite film locations that you went to? Horror Hallowed Grounds is one of my favorite things to look for when I want special features.
Well, I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I'm not really doing it anymore for Scream Factory or anybody else, really, for that matter. I mean, I will. I'd be more than happy to, but I think they found cheaper options that, from what I hear from the fans, the quality has slipped drastically. But anyway, I'm doing that all now for free on YouTube. So if you follow my YouTube channel, Malfunction, that I'm putting them all up there for free. My favorite one to do, my favorite episode was Session 9, because that was hands down the most amazing location I've ever been to in my life. I allegedly broke in there twice. I think the statutes of limitations are probably up by now, but
I think you're safe. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I went there twice, and when I got around to doing the episode, the place had already been torn down. So I had to go back, and I used all the footage I shot in there just as a nerd walking around with my buddies, and I repurposed that into new footage, and it was because of that, it made it a very different, almost Ghost Adventures-y kind of episode, So it was a lot of fun, and that just talk about the scariest fucking location. Walking it in that building. All right, every window is boarded, right? So even during the day, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face if you didn't have a flashlight. So first off, you're always thinking to yourself, what if my flashlight just went out? You would be fucked. You would be totally fucked. And it's like 6 levels. Like I think it was like 4 levels high, 4 stories, and 2 sub levels. And we went down. I went through every fucking nook and cranny of that place, man. That's why I went back twice, because it's the size of a mall. That place is huge. We spent. I mean, I gotta have asbestos from that thing. I mean, I was in there without a mask. I
thought they were supposed to clean all that up.
Yeah, they didn't do a very good job. but yeah,
I love that movie.
Yeah, me too. That's like a top 10 movie for me.
Yeah, I think that was actually where I first saw you. I saw that movie. I think I rented it, and then I think I went out and bought it within immediately when it came out, for purchase.
Yeah,
because that was still back when you could only rent them for a little while, or you could buy them for almost $100 until 4 or 6 months later they would be knocked down to 20 or something.
Yeah,
but and actually, I think I introduced that to Catherine, if you're still watching, Kat. I think I made her sit through that, and she is petrified of that place, but I've always loved that movie.
Yeah, and I loved, we broke off from each other at one point, and I was, by myself, down in, the to me, the scariest shot in the whole movie is when he's walking down that hallway and he thinks he hears something and he flashes the light up and you see that figure just kind of go around the corner. Dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. But I was down in that same spot and I turned my light off and just sat there in the darkness for because to me, there's no better feeling than being terrified. I'm not terrified of, I don't want to be terrified of I'm in a plane about to crash. That's not. No. I want to get scared by something that won't harm me. Right. But I was trying to just freak myself out. It was fun.
That brings up an interesting question that I hadn't really thought of. Have you ever experienced anything supernatural during some of your visits to not cons, but locations or anything like that?
No, and I don't believe in that shit. I mean,
really?
I did a video. There's a video on my YouTube channel about this weird thing that happened when my dog died. That and if you watch it, it's pretty trippy. I can't explain it. It happened one night only. It was all caught on my security cameras. But beyond that, I mean, even then, I still think there's an explanation for it. I don't believe in it. I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in ghosts.
Okay.
But
right. Oh yeah.
That's just me.
Some of our viewers used to think there were ghosts that were hovering around behind me on one of my sets, from time to time. There'd be little orbs just going crazy behind me while we were filming.
You needed dust. That's what it is.
I needed the dust.
Air filter needed to change, is what it was.
Yeah, I needed to change my air filter.
Yeah, well, I will say that it definitely wasn't dust particles when you watch my video. I don't know what the fuck it was.
Right. I will definitely. I don't think I've seen the one about your dog, but I will check that out.
I would definitely go look that one up. Yeah.
And BK wants to know what's a silly price tag on the Warriors vest. I'm a buyer.
I've been offered 50 grand for it.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a no on the 50 grand. See,
that was a no. So.
and that was a no. Absolutely.
Fucking Ajax too, man.
And it's
only your ass and turned into a popsicle.
And it's his only one. He only wore one. There was only one Ajax vest.
I mean, well, speaking of collectibles, I have another question. What's one item that's on top of your wish list? You just wish you can have.
I've been asked that a few times, and I mean, there's a lot of things that I would love to have. But there's nothing I'm seeking out. You know what I mean? I would love to have Alex's cane with the knife from Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
I don't know who has that, if that exists. I know they had one in the Kubrick exhibit, but I don't think it was the real one. I think it was just they had some replica
reproduction
stuff.
Or something.
Yeah. Of course, I'd love to have the original Freddy glove. If the original Myers mask was actually still in good condition and intact, I'd go for that. There's things like that. But is there anything I'm seeking out? Not really. God, you know what? Somebody asked me this recently, and someone said something really good, and I was like, "Fuck! Oh yeah, that." Now I can't remember what it was. I'd love to have the cross from the Fog, the big gold cross.
Oh yeah.
And I know who has it too.
God damn it!
Yeah, and they won't part with it at the moment. So we'll see.
Did you get involved in any of that? When I saw John Carpenter was selling off shit out of his closet or whatever it was, but it was some cool items in there. Did you look into that at all when it was going around few weeks ago?
Well, the only props I saw them sell was a set of the In the Mouth of Madness books.
Yeah,
which I already have.
You have those?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god! But they were like $5,000 or something. Was the
it was ridiculous.
Sandy, his wife, actually gave me a set. So,
nice.
When I was working on the In the Mouth of Madness Blu-ray for Scream Factory, I did the commentary. Actually, I was supposed to host the commentary. It's a kind of a sore subject where John changed his mind at the last second, like in the studio. Like, no, we got this. I'm like, you serious, dude? I was pretty bummed about it, and she could tell I was really bummed about it. And I watched the movie 3 times and took notes, and I was all ready to just fucking have really ask questions. That's the thing. He was like, well, what do we need you for? Yeah, he was being a real dick about it. He's like, what do we need you for? And I'm like, well, you're just going to talk over the movie. I'm going to bring up things fans are going to want to know, and he was just he's I don't know if you've ever met him. He's just a grumpy guy.
That brings up something because we have heard John Carpenter is not. He's one of those people that will make you not want to meet your heroes. Is that kind of how you feel about him?
I hate to say it. Yeah, I mean it's let me put it to you this way. I worked on almost every release he did for Scream Factory. It got to the point where the last time I went to his office to interview him for something, I want to say the last time was for Vampires and Village of the Damned. He was so unpleasant to me that I pretty much said, I think I've wore out my welcome here. When they offered me Big Trouble in Little China, I passed. I said, I'm not going back there. I'm good.
Wow.
I'm good.
Wow.
And Sandy is a sweetheart. She's the best. Sandy King. Sandy King Carpenter. She's really cool. And during that commentary, she mentioned, we have a box of those books in the garage. So afterwards, I asked her about it. And this is exactly how the conversation went down. John's standing right there, and I said, hey, I collect props, and I've been always wanted to get a set of those books. And she goes, I'll send you a set. And John goes, oh yeah, what are they worth to you? And I go, well, I don't know. And she goes, John, and she goes, no. I goes, what would you pay for them? And she goes, Sean, just send me your address. I'll send them to you. And he wanted me to buy them, which I wouldn't have. But she was like, no, she felt bad that he kind of dissed me on the commentary, which, believe me, I was so bummed because I'd done a commentary with Toby Hooper. I'd done a couple with Wes Craven. This was going to be my chance to do one with Carpenter. And I was like, snubbed.
Damn, bro. Let me ask you this. Did it ever come up in your interactions with him at all, kind of offering like, hey, you should get in on this con thing at all, or is he already just well above that? I see he does like one a year. He just did one in Pittsburgh, but
he's been working with somebody for a long time, but he just doesn't do very many. So he already has. I don't poach people.
Right.
That's become a real problem in this business. There's some guys that are just, and they're fucking up the industry. They're fucking up the industry for the fans too, because they're what they don't understand is they're doing it wrong, and A, they're raising prices, and B, they're taking celebrities to really shitty conventions and making them never want to do one again, and not taking care of them. And if you have a bad experience, why are you going to want to go do another one?
Yeah. We may know one of those people.
I'll just say it. Do you have like a list that you would be like, I'm not sending any of my clients to that clown's area anywhere around there? Is there places you just won't go based on people you've dealt with?
Oh well, there are conventions I won't work with based, for personal reasons. Like if I think the promoter is a scumbag, I won't. I think a lot of people that follow me know what shows I won't work with. I don't need to. Even saying their name right now would give them more publicity than they're worth, because nobody knows about them anyway. Mostly,
So we'll talk a little bit in 4 days when we're over there. We run into you real quick. There's a couple of names I want to throw at you just to say, you believe this fucking guy?
We recently got burned. We recently got burned with one a couple months ago. So I and we had talked about this one before privately. So
with you,
yeah.
Oh.
How did you mention the Scream Factory deal? And sorry that's not still a thing, because those were some of the best deals.
Here's the thing. I really haven't pursued it. I haven't had time to do it anyway. I like doing it on my own time and like doing it for fun on the YouTube thing. It's so much more gratifying. I don't have to worry about them coming back to me and saying, "Oh, you need to cut this part out," which happened a lot. It happened. And I used to get in big fights with them over it. And I don't miss that. And to be honest with you, they were barely covering my expenses. I wasn't making money, So and I'm not knocking them at all. I like Jeff Nelson. I like Cliff McMillan. They're great guys. They put out great product. I don't like some of the special they do work with some great guys like Michael Felsher, redshirt pitchers. When he does do stuff for them, he's great. There's another guy, I can't remember his name. There's another guy that's been doing a lot of stuff for them that's really good, but there's this one person in particular that's been doing a lot for them that is fucking terrible. I'm not gonna get. And people actually message me when the stuff comes out and goes, "Have you seen this shit?" Like, dude, what is going? Literally, is he just turning a camera on, hitting record, and walking away? I'm like,
that looks like what he's doing.
But
how did the whole Scream Factory relationship start? How did you start doing stuff for them?
That was Michael Felsher. Michael Felsher called me up one day and said, "Hey, I'm doing. There's this new company called Scream Factory. That's an offshoot of Shout Factory, and I'm doing special edition DVDs and Blu-rays of Halloween 2 and 3." And I'm like, "Holy shit!" And he goes, "I love your Horrors Hallowed Ground stuff. Would you want to do episodes potentially to be on those releases?" And I'm like, "Yeah, done." So I immediately, signed up for that. I went out, we shot them. That Halloween 3 episode is still one of my all-time favorites. Going back to the fucking town with Tommy Lee Wallace, that was amazing. And I turned them in, and that's when the first bump in the road happened. Scream Factory looked at these things, and they didn't know what they were getting, and they were freaked out by it. They were kind of scared of it because I'm not very politically correct. I have a foul mouth. So, and I was spoofing the movies a little bit, doing little skits, and they were kind of like, "What the fuck is this?" And they wanted me to cut a bunch of stuff. And then I just stood firm and I said, I'm not cutting these things. There was one bit they were really strong about, me cutting from the Halloween 2 episode, and they said they felt that it was perhaps homophobic. And I was like, it's not at all, but okay. So I did cut it, but then I released the uncut version is on my YouTube channel. And basically what it is, I put myself in the scene where I'm in bed when Lance Guest comes in and he kind of rubs her hand and he's looking at her and he's all, "Can I get you a Coke?" Yeah. So I cut me into it, like going, like, "Whoa, who is this guy? Why is he rubbing my hand?" You know, and it was just funny. It wasn't meant to be homophobic, you know, but whatever. It is what it is. It was humor. But no, so they said, "Okay, we're gonna put these on the discs, but we're done. You know, thank you. Thanks for working with us. We appreciate it." Then the interesting thing happened. Those episodes started getting rave reviews by every DVD website, every fan. "We need more of this." Then they started going, "Hey, you want to do a couple more of those?" So, you know, the public, you know, the people spoke.
The people spoke, you know, and it's so fucking funny how they flip like a light switch when a few people do stand up and say, "This is good stuff." You know, where's your people that couldn't recognize that? You know,
You mentioned you mentioned a couple of the featurettes that you did that were your favorites. What were some of the worst or most difficult to do, either for Scream Factory or on your own?
Well, hands down, the most difficult project was this fucking thing here.
He's reaching.
The Halloween box set. The Halloween box set, which I will say, thank you for the Saturn Award. So, won a Saturn Award for it, which is nice.
Very nice.
But that was the biggest pain in the ass, having to do the complete Halloween franchise in a specific amount of time. What we did is we rented in addition to all the stuff I had to go out to do, but we rented a hotel room at the Sportsman's Lodge in Studio City. We rented it for like 3 or 4 nights, and we scheduled interviews like every hour and a half. We had another Halloween person walking through the door. I tell you, man, by the end of each day, my eyes were crossing. I'm sitting there like, I'm like trying to like stay awake to like ask questions. It was brutal. It was just so much work, but I'm super proud of it. So that was the toughest, hands down, the toughest job. Otherwise, as far as what was the question? It was like most difficult, or
what was the worst or most difficult? Yeah, so the worst now.
I'd have to say the worst one the one I had zero passion for, and I don't like to do stuff I have no passion for, you know, because I feel it shows through the work, you know, that it's not genuine. But the one that they asked me to do, and it was so easy in regards to the location, it was a Horrors Hallowed Grounds, was John Carpenter's Someone's Watching Me. Because I'm not a fan of it. It's what it is. But it was literally like 2 locations. So, but I was sitting there trying to be enthusiastic about this boring ass location for a movie I don't care about, you know. You know, one that I wasn't really excited about, but ended up being a lot of fun. And I got really, once I was there and I'm seeing the stuff in person, it got me into it, was Village of the Damned. Because it wasn't one of my favorite Carpenter films, but revisiting it and doing all the special features for it, I kind of built up a new appreciation for it. It's not as bad as I remembered, you know, when I was in the theater, you know. So
I think it's I guess not as crazy as The Thing when they remade that one, you know, but it's the same thing. It's got a little bit darker take on the old ass movie from the 50s, you know. I mean, it's cool. To me, that one does feel like Carpenter, though, when you watch it. You know, it still has a lot of his stuff in it. So,
yeah, I think Gary Keeby, who was the DP on that, had a lot to do with. he kind of took over where Dean Cundy left off. He kind of carried the torch for the later part, starting from, I think, They Live on. And we were fortunate enough to get him. We interviewed him for, I think we did Village of the Damned and Vampires like at the same time, like back to back. And we were able to get him, and I think he passed away just a few months after that interview. Yeah.
Hate it.
Jason, I'm going to mess up this last name, but Jason Beaupre wants to know, what was Toby like? I believe Toby.
Is that what that's supposed to say? What Toby like?
Yeah. I've gotten really good at reading internet slang, so.
Yeah. I'm assuming he means Toby Hooper. He
Yes.
was super chill. He was really awkward, quiet, kind of talk like this, just like, hey, I remember the best part of it was I went in to supervise commentary it was Texas Chainsaw 3D, believe it or not. They brought him in to do commentary for that because he was technically a producer. They said, hey, you want to come in and interview Toby for this thing? I'm like, fucking A. So I came in, got to, supervise the commentary. Then I did a on camera with him. I was off camera, but for that release. And then afterwards, he was like, "Oh, can I get a ride home?" And I was like, "I will take you home, Toby Hooper." So he jumped in my car, and it's funny, we got lost on the way to his house. Like, it was, I don't know what happened, but somehow we got lost. But it was awesome because I just sat there in the car asking Toby Hooper question after question.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's cool.
The thing that bothers me the most was I had always heard rumors that he still owns some of the animatronics from the Funhouse, like the animatronic figures and stuff.
Fat Lady, oh yes.
Yeah, and you see some of them. I don't know if some people may or may not know. He directed the music video for Dancing with Myself by Billy Idol. And some of those animatronics are in that video. So I was kind of going, hey, you still have, I got somebody. And so when we got to his house, I was like, any chance, I would love to just see them, and I gotta go inside. He denied me.
Oh,
yeah.
But then he came back out. Like, I was about to pull out. He walked and he taps on my window, and I rolled down, and he goes, "If you got any of those conventions you're talking about, give me a call." And so I was like, "Well, okay, yeah." And then I tried to book him into something, and I was having to go through his wife, who she was a nightmare, and it just never happened. And then he died.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, Patricia says your Toby Hooper impersonation is just making her laugh. There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hey, Sean. Yeah.
Now, we know you've already mentioned it a little bit about your history with Tony Moran. Are there any other, and you don't have to necessarily name names, but are there any other diva-like stories from celebrities that you've had to deal with that made you think, you know what, I'm never going to work with that person again?
Well, the Tony thing, it is what it is. I mean, here's the thing I'll say about Tony is he has his demons, or had them. I don't know what his current status is, but he's been misled by someone else who's been pumping him with false information. And he's basically, believes this person, and that person purposely did that to get him to turn on me. If somebody that has an issue with me, I'll tell you guys all about it. And when I see you this weekend,
sure. That's cool. Yeah,
But I mean, that's the truth. I mean, when he went on his rants online and the things I've seen in some of his interviews, the stuff he's talking about is complete nonsense. Somebody else told him, And I mean, some stuff involves me hacking in his email account, and I mean, why I would do? I mean, I have to get my girlfriend to fucking fix my printer. I can't. I'm not hacking anything, or you know what I mean? I mean, so I'm so technologically challenged. Anyway, but you know, so I try to let it go in regards to, you know, all this is based on bullshit. Somebody else fed him. Oddly enough, recently, I've been reached out to by his representative in regards to him wanting to bury the hatchet.
Good.
Well, I mean, I don't know if
step 9.
Bury it in my head.
Yeah. Is that step 9?
Oh, shit.
I think.
I don't know.
We have seen him appearing at a couple of other cons, like popping up on some dockets across, you know, in some areas here. So they're smaller ones, but hey,
I mean, you know, is his motivation maybe his motivation might be other than really wanting to make amends with me? Maybe I think it's probably more financially motivated. There you go.
I was going to say.
There is a big 45th anniversary coming up next year, and a convention to go with it. So, you know, so it would be good to get in with the main man on that one early, right?
Yes, you would think.
But anyhow, you know, but you know, I'm a guy that I'm a never say never guy. Usually, I mean, there's the individual in question, who we'll also talk about next weekend. He's probably the only one at this point that I have basically tapped out on. I won't give another chance to, because I've been burned too many times. And I recently tried. I did recently, within the last 12 months, tried and got burned again. So I'm done. Hands are washed of that one.
It can't be. Okay. It can't be.
What was some of the
you know who it
behavior
is,
you're
right?
talking about?
I know who it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what was some of the behavior that turned you off instead of naming names or anything?
Behavior from that person?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, dude, where do you start? We can do a whole episode on this guy. I mean,
we got time.
I mean, seriously.
Colonel's got a Red Bull, I think.
Here's the thing. I don't want to give more credit to him because he's such a narcissist and a sociopath that he would love nothing more than me to say his name and make him the villain, because he loves it. He loves it. He plays the victim, but he behind the scenes he thinks he's this guy. But the bottom line is, he's a fucking loser, and he hasn't done anything. I mean, he's piggybacked off of everybody else. He's never done anything really successable, and he constantly fails with each one of his shitty conventions he puts on. I don't know, that narrows it down. You know, it's you know what? Let him be him. And you know what? You have to live with yourself. At the end of the day, you know, he can talk all the shit about me that he wants, but he's him. And that's got to be worse than anything I can think of. So,
all right.
We're not naming names. I'll name a name. I have a name we can name. I just want your opinion. You can just say cool, not cool.
I'm not going to say if this is the guy.
No. I'm just. This is a guy. I just want to know your opinion on Billy Zane.
What the fuck is that?
Jesus, Ziggy, I didn't know you were going there.
I'm just curious what he thinks of Billy Zane. What's wrong with that?
I don't think he's on your roster, if I remember correctly.
No,
he's not. He's he's got really nice scarves.
I'm just gonna say, we're talking about shitty clients or celebs that are supposed to be there catering to the horror fans that are worshiping the ground that these guys are fucking walking on. $80 for a signature and a selfie, and this guy's gonna treat people like that. We witnessed it, and then actually firsthand
experienced it.
Oh man, it was the fucking worst. And thank God for Leonard Lies. I went over to his table, and everything was he was the best after experiencing the Billy Zane bullshit.
Well, I mean, that was at Horror Hound that we had a run-in with him, and it seemed like everybody behind the scenes that we talked to at Horror Hound was talking about Billy Zane and what a dick he was being that day, or that weekend.
Yes.
Well, what I remember from the weekend you're talking about is the fact that he came into that room that he was in and then demanded that everybody that entered that room be masked up. And he was the only person demanding this.
Right.
And you know what? I am someone who, I'm not a COVID denier or any shit like that. And, and if you feel more comfortable being masked up, God bless you,
Sure.
Do what you want to do. But the fact that you're coming to a fucking convention filled with thousands of people and then suddenly wanting to implement rules, that's not cool. So I that was interesting. So I mean,
it was.
Yeah.
Well, it only makes sense coming from a guy that looked like a extra for West Side Story in his little leather jacket and a hat and all
the little hat and his scarf,
little hat.
I mean, here I'll tell you my Billy Zane story.
Please.
So
excellent.
This is how it started for me. I was at a show in LA, Hollywood Collector Show. This is probably 10 years ago. And Billy showed up to visit one of the guests. He wasn't a guest there. He came and I saw him and I was like, holy shit, Billy Zane. And I was like, he would be a great client. I do love his work. I love Demon Knight. I love Twin Peaks.
I did.
Yeah. And so I saw him leaving and I followed him out into the parking lot. And I said, excuse me, Billy. And he's like, yeah. And I go, hey, my name's Sean Clark, blah, blah, blah. This is what I do. I brought so-and-so here. I don't remember who I had that weekend, but this and that. And, would you ever be interested in trying one of these? I would love to, I'd love to book you. And, and he said, well, you have a business card? And I said, yeah, hold on. So I pull out my wallet and I'd given out my last one and I said, oh shit, I ran out. And he goes, well, doesn't seem like you're very prepared. And he just turned around and walked away from me. I was like, whoa!
Dude, he said the same thing to
That's
me.
same shit.
No, I was just fucking with him. And he said the same shit to me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. That is so
That must be his go-to line.
No.
Yeah, he was making a joke about one of his B movies with Berenger in
Sniper,
it.
man. I was talking about Sniper.
Sniper. And
I
he
knew the
makes a
character
joke
redeemed
about
himself. I'm like, dude, as a kid, I was kind of pissed off. I didn't even get a chance to finish.
Mm-hmm.
He cut him off like,
we'll go through this for interview. You weren't very prepared.
yeah, you guys got to do some more research. Gonna come in like that. And we walked away. We didn't even take the fucking selfie, man. I was like, fuck this guy, man. I'm done.
Well, I have another story I'll tell you when I see you guys.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and some of our viewers are jumping on the train. BK says, fuck Billy Zane.
Yeah.
And Lorena says Billy Zane is a dick. Ziggy or Colonel, do you have the shirt available?
I don't have one yet.
Right.
But we made a shirt for our exclusive. Go peel one out if you got it.
Let me go look. Ziggy, ask a question.
Well, I think you have a good question, Zach, that for Sean that we was talking about for a possible topic that I'm very curious about. I don't want to steal it.
Okay, go ahead, man. I got something, but go ahead.
Okay, while we're still talking about conventions, pretty much if you pick 5 live or people's passed on people you love to have at a convention or see at a convention, just as a fan, like who would pick?
5 people that are dead that I would
or,
love.
or live.
Could be, or you just haven't met them.
Well, let's go with 5 dead first.
All right.
Nice.
That I would have loved to have met and I guess had a Rod Serling, Stanley Kubrick. It's funny. I'm such a completist. I'm going to go back to like some of the people I missed on like getting autographs. Mark, what's it? From from Return of the Living Dead and Friday the 13th Part 5. Mark.
Vic. Yeah.
Mark. It starts with a V. Mark Ventreri, or I can't.
I think so. I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his last name.
We know who you mean.
You know, this isn't a fucking costume; it's a way of life. That guy. You know, I mean, he would have been great to meet. Let's see. I wasn't really. I would love to have met Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, of course, you know, you got to go to the old school: Bela Lugosi, Karloff, Cheney. You know, but those aren't really realistic. But you know, I would have loved to have met all. Oh God, I can't believe I missed Donald Pleasance. Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck. Wearing the shirt. Don't even think of him. Yeah. Yeah. So, and there's always a few here and there, like, you know, like I would, you know, there's a couple of the actors from The Thing I never got to meet that passed away. You know, the guy that what's the character's name? The one who's tied to the chair. You know, I'm gonna spend all night tied to this fucking chair. That guy was awesome. You know, I'd love to have met him, or the guy, the one who gets his arms cut off when he, you know, the doctor. You know, he has the little nose ring. I never met him. I'd love to have met him.
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah. I met Brimley.
You met him?
Yeah, I met him a few times. Actually, drove with him one of his last appearances. We were at Texas Frightmare, and Dom, who represents him, also represents Billy Zane. We drove in the car together to a screening at the Alamo Draft House of The Thing, and Wilford was with us. And I'll tell you, dude, he always looked pissed off, but I think he had some sort of facial paralysis. This is the truth. So he never would smile. So he'd always just be like this. But he was funny as fuck, man. When you talk to the guy, and he was so not politically correct. He was talking. He said shit. He said some shit that I was like, "Oh man, you're lucky you're gonna be dead soon, because that shit you'd be canceled right now." You know, funny stuff though. Funny, you know, all good natured, not hateful. You know,
and I bummed when he passed, because this Thing panel was originally announced. He was part of it still. He was still alive.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for COVID, man, that Thing reunion would have happened. It was ready to happen. And then, you know, we did, you know, dude, I'll tell you what, it's been a bitch putting this thing together. It's been a bitch getting because all those dudes are not doing great. Like a lot of the older ones. I mean, we just had one drop out. Joel Polis. I don't know if they announced it. Yeah,
they did.
And it's not because of his health; it's because of a loved one has an issue. But like, you know, it was real touch and go there for a while. Getting David Clennon, Palmer, and I know he's the one everybody wants to meet because everybody loves Palmer. And I've been on that dude like fucking white on rice, man. I've been stalking him. He probably gonna have a fucking restraint order on me just because I wouldn't leave him alone. Because he was just ghosting me, man. I'm like, come on, dude. Finally, I'm still like, this dude better show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's, his flight is booked. Everything's good to go. So,
we will be in line Saturday morning early to make sure we don't get snubbed out of that panel like we did the Scream one at the last one.
Yeah, and the only one that they didn't get was TK Carter, but he's a fucking Fruit Loop. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, the shit he was asking for. I mean, it's like, dude, you're not fucking Michael Jackson. This is a Thing reunion. You ain't done shit since fucking Dr. Detroit. Just come on, come on. I mean, come make some money, some good. I mean, he would have crushed. Yeah. He would have crushed. Yeah. But the stories I heard, because I guess Nathan talked to him directly, it was fucking Looney Tunes, man.
Wow.
And I met him one time, and yeah, I saw it. So I know it. I told him, I warned him. I said, when you get a hold of that dude, get ready, because it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't find the shirt, but I'll pack it this weekend and make sure to bring it, and I'll show you in person. So,
yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I think you'll appreciate it. Yeah, I may have to make you one and send to you too.
So while you were gone, we were doing he asked me the top 5 dead celebrities. So top 5 living. You know that I have 2 hats. I have the fan hat, and then I have the businessman hat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I go for the money or do I go for the, and on one side, I'm like, I'd love to have Brad Pitt as a client or Johnny Depp. How great would Johnny Depp be?
Mm-hmm.
On this side, I'm like, I really want to meet Chris Makepeace from Meatballs and My Bodyguard.
Yeah, man. Vamp.
Vamp. Yeah. Another one for me that I would, as a nerd, I would kill to fucking meet Timothy Van Patten. Class of 1984 is one of my all-time favorite films.
The Master. Remember the show?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Lee Von Cleef and Timothy Van Patten, The Master. It's got to be out there somewhere. You'll love it, dude. You'll love it.
Well, I used to love him as Salami on The White Shadow.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a guy, and he directed a lot of Sopranos and stuff. That's what he's a director now. So Boardwalk Empire, a bunch of stuff. So I'd love to meet him. He's got some of I can teach ya. Sit on this, motherfucker. He's so great in that movie.
I love that one. That's on my permanent shelf. That's a DVD I went after. It was one of those. It was at the time $35 for that one because it was such a limited release when it came out. But
what's the matter with you? What's the matter with me? What's the matter with Matta? It's a great film. If you don't know Class of 1984, do yourself a favor. And Class of 1999 revisited it recently. It's fucking really good. I hated it when I first saw it because I wanted it to be a sequel to Class of 1984.
Right.
But now it is so much fun. Class of 1999, fucking really fun.
That's Trauma, isn't it? Is that a Trauma film?
No, it feels like it.
It does feel like it. That's the one with all the dope and everything, and isn't it? Am I thinking of the right one?
I think you might. Maybe you're thinking. Well, there's a really bad Class of 1999 Part 2 that is extremely Trauma-ish, really bad. But it had Pam Grier in it, Stacy Keach, Malcolm McDowell. What was that guy? Patrick Kilpatrick from Toxic Avenger. It's revisit it. It's actually really good. I was really surprised. I think give it a shot.
Okay.
Some really good practical effects too, like old school practical, like they're all like robot teachers. They're like
okay, that's it. That's the one. Yes, I've definitely enjoyed that.
They're like T2 underneath, It's bad, but it's fucking so bad it's good. So
discipline and punish mode. That's yes.
Yeah. Let me see who else. So I'm trying to think of other like white whale kind of clients, people that I would. One that everybody's always wanted. Ted Levine, from Buffalo Bill, Sounds of Lamb.
Oh, where?
Yeah. She's a big fat person. She's a great big fat person. He would be awesome. What's he like? Hills Have Eyes remake, fucking The Mangler. Come on, you want some granola? I mean,
guys like that just don't need this though. They're just not into the con circuit, or they just don't know.
I've talked to people that have worked with him, and they brought it up, and he's just anti. I mean, who knows, dude? I've heard people say they'd never do it, and they pop up at a convention. I'm just like, whoa,
Jamie Lee Curtis, that was your doing, getting that together, or yes?
Yeah.
And how do you fall out of your chair when that? How does that come together when that all went down? Because
bro, that was the craziest shit ever. I mean, I gotta tell you that when I tell the story, I mean it seems like completely unreal. This is what happened. I'd met her several times at her book signings and stuff like that, and I didn't know her. Right. One day the phone rings, completely random. Nobody prepped me for this. I just get a phone call. I go, hello. And I hear Sean. And I go, yes. Jamie Lee Curtis. And I'm just like, and I knew the voice immediately. I'm like, yes, you are. How are you? You know? And she goes, so I'm doing this charity auction thing, getting these Michael Myers masks signed by everybody, and I don't know how to get a hold of anyone. And I've been trying to track them all down. And every time I talk to somebody, they say, the guy you need to call is this guy, Sean Clark. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to call this guy. and I go, oh, well, yeah, hi. And she goes, so can you help me out with this? And I said, absolutely. You know, who are you trying to find? And she goes, everybody from the first film. And I said, yeah, you know. And she said, yeah, Tommy Lee Wallace gave me your number. And, you know, he said, you know, you need to call Sean. And she goes, because you work with him for these these fan things, right? These conventions. And I said, yeah. And she goes, yes, you know, I've been asked to do those for years. And I said, yeah, you know, I asked you, you know, I asked her in person, you know. And she goes, well, let me ask you a question. And she said, what is your honest opinion? Do you think I should auction these masks off, or do you think I should do it at one of these convention things? And I said, you know what, Jamie? As much as I would love to see you do a convention, and as badly as I'd love to, you know, get you to do one, quite honestly, the best way you're going to make money on those things is auctioning them off. I said, because you're basically, you know, a few thousand people at a convention versus the world, you know. Mm-hmm. So the way you're going to make the most money would be an auction. And she goes, She goes, I appreciate your honesty. And I said, no problem. She goes, so tell me, you know, how, you know, what do you think I could make if I did one of these conventions? And wow. That's what started it. And I told her, and she basically just said, okay, let's do it. I'm like, what? She goes, let's do one. And it happened that quickly, just a random fucking phone call.
Wow.
Now, you were there, I'm assuming, right, when that went down?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. There's a whole documentary.
Oh, yes. Do you remember the fan that got the hug from her because he told the story of being stalked?
That wasn't there.
That wasn't there.
One. That was at like San Diego Comic-Con. She was there, I think, promoting Knives Out.
Okay.
And that guy, I've met that guy. He's come up. Yeah. He's come up to me many times at conventions. But yeah, I wasn't there when that happened. Yeah.
He was just
he's a frequent he's a frequent guest and viewer and maybe a future collaborator with us at some point.
Right.
So.
He does the same thing, kind of like he visits a lot of locations too, and you know, on the cheap.
With what? Yeah. Come to think of it, I watched one of your episodes he was on.
Yeah.
And he was talking about some location that he was completely wrong on. And I was like watching the episode going, no, you're wrong. And I can't remember what. I'd have to rewatch it to figure out what it was, but there was something he was totally wrong on. And I would have to go back and rewatch it. And then, because until you just brought it up right now that he's been on your show, I didn't put together it was that guy until just now it clicked.
Yeah. He asked a question earlier.
Oh, did he? You were wrong on that one thing. I can't remember what it was, buddy. There was something.
There he is. Hey, Sean, it's me. It was Halloween 2018, maybe.
Was that the one? There was something that you got wrong, that I was like, oh, no, he's wrong on that. I don't know. Yeah, you're probably, that might be it. But we finally got it right by saying you were wrong. No. But he's a very nice guy. I've met him multiple times. And obviously a big fan like myself, likes to go to the locations, which I appreciate.
And Hutch says, you guys are nerds and I love it. We do too.
It's fine. This is what it's all about, man. It's like-minded people.
Yeah.
Talking it out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, it's a strange thing. I'm in a weird position. I'm in a position where there's guys, and I'm sure you guys are even guilty of it at some point, talking shit on me, like, fuck that guy. Why does that guy get to do this? And that, you know what I mean? I get a lot of haters. I get it. When I pop up in a documentary, why are they fucking talking to this guy? What is, he didn't work on the movie. Fuck this guy.
Look at this Zach Bagans wannabe looking like.
Yeah. Nope. I had that haircut before Zach.
Right? I know. I made the joke about Zach stole your look on our Facebook page about it.
But Zach actually, and funny thing, I recently met Zach for the first time. Really nice guy, actually. I know he gets clowned on a little bit because his demeanor is so he's very why here we are now in front of the he's very
he seems like such a dick though.
You know what? It's his mannerisms and his voice because he was the nicest, fucking most generous guy. I met him at his haunted museum. The museum. He recognized me. He saw me in the park, and he was next door in his office. Is next door, and I guess he said he was looking out the window and he saw me and he goes, "I know that guy," but he couldn't figure out where he knew me from. And then I was standing in the parking lot because we didn't have a reservation. Me and my buddy, and all of a sudden I hear, "Sean." I'm like, "You hear that, Sean?" I'm like, and I see this head popping over, and he was wearing like a beanie, and his head is popped over. He's all, "Come here," and I went around, and he said, "Hey," he invited us in, gave us a tour of his office. He has a bunch of really cool props too. Yeah, and he knew me because I'm the other guy that has the Poltergeist con because he got the other one recently. Yeah. Okay. So now we're like Poltergeist brothers. But he's super nice. Cool. Really nice dude. I mean, I think good to hear. I think he gets a bad rep just because he's very stiff and comes off like, everybody's got to have like their image or whatever, and that's his thing. I'm the intense guy. But another perfect example of that, Glenn Hetrick, from Face Off. Okay. He's the guy tatted up, big guy.
Yes. And he's also the guy behind that Necroscope remake that are the shows that are supposed to be coming. I haven't heard shit on it since.
Yeah. No, he optioned that years ago. He's been trying to get that made forever. Dude, if he was talking with us right now, you guys would all, he's the biggest fucking geek. I mean, he played like a role of the kind of the asshole on Face Off, but he's the nicest dude. So nice.
I just love the fact that
guy though on Face Off, man. I like Glenn.
I like
it. I said Glenn was my dude on Face Off, man. I love his wardrobe, his clothing. Not my style, but it works out there.
He gets a little extreme with the fashion. That's okay.
I don't know. I just get away with it. I bought into what he said though about Necroscope for sure. I was all like, "Oh my god, he's saying all the right things and building the right team." But now we're going on a year and a half with not a peep since then. So man,
I don't know. As always, it's a passion project for him. So he's trying, man. He's trying really hard on that.
In like 20 fucking years, people have been trying to get that shit made. Kill him.
Yeah. Well, he has it. He owns the rights to it now, so he's trying to get it done.
Such a good story. Go ahead, Frank.
That would be fun. Well, I was just going to ask, what are some of the best conventions that you've been to, and what makes them stand out above the others?
Well, mine, hands down, my favorite convention is Horror Hound, Cincinnati. I mean, it's. I just think first off, it's the biggest I think of any horror convention size-wise. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's one that's actually bigger, and it's always so much fun. And and maybe I'm being biased because all my friends run it, and I get to see all my best friends, a couple times a year. And I mean, I purposely go in a day early just to hang out with Nathan because we're so close, Yeah. I usually go on a Thursday. I leave for Horror Hound on a Wednesday. We have a ritual. Like Wednesday night, we go to fucking Walmart and buy like all kinds of crap for our hotel rooms, and we just have like a ritual. and then I'd say, in no particular order, the other elite shows, Monster Mania, Cherry Hill, Texas Frightmare, Mad Monster Party. I kind of prefer their Arizona show over the North Carolina one. The Arizona one is a lot of fun. I'm staying strictly horror here.
Right.
You know what? I mean, there's some new kids on the block that are kicking ass, man. This show Spookala that just happened in Ocala, Florida, dude, it was fucking amazing.
That was a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, and that dude Deej, who runs it, he's doing all the right things. The guy knows what, I mean, the stuff he told me he's planning on doing. If he can pull off, dude, some fans are gonna shit. I mean, he's putting legit money into this stuff. I mean, that's how. I mean, honestly, you got to be willing to really throw down to be able to build it, and he is. Also, the Silver Scream one that Ice Nine Kills just did was really good, and that was a first-time show.
I heard a lot of fans talking about that one this last week.
Yeah, I didn't get to go to it. I was at Mad Monster Party, North Carolina, but my girlfriend was at Silver Scream, so I had people at both. I'm getting the reports, I'm seeing the pictures, and and of course I see the numbers at the end of the weekend. I'm like, okay, and it was good. Another show I just did for the first time that really impressed me was Houston Horror Film Festival. They put on a really rock solid show, and I went to it specifically just to check it out, because I'd heard good things, and they did a killer job, put on a killer show. Of course, another one of my top 5. I'm adding this into the top 5.
Yes,
is Monsterpalooza in California.
Okay.
I mean that he does 2 a year. He does Monsterpalooza in Pasadena, Son of Monsterpalooza in Burbank, and they're both amazing. And what's great about those shows is it's really geared towards the artist and like special effects, practical effect industry. So you get all those dudes. They all come. They bring stuff. They have a museum. So every year they have new shit in the museum.
Nice.
And that's the show I spend the most money at. That's the show I go to, and I come home with crazy shit because that's really good. Midsummer Scream, which is also in California, is really good. And there's a new one in SoCal called CreepyCon, which is in Ontario, California. They did their first show this last February. Blew me away. I was like, man, a show in Ontario. If you know Southern California, the 909, as we call it, isn't like the most desirable area. But I was blown away at the turnout. They really came out for it, man. It was good. It was really good.
Nice.
I know I'm forgetting somebody. I'm going to get shit. Somebody's like, motherfucker, you didn't mention my show.
What about me?
Yeah.
Well, what is a special feature or an event that some cons are not doing that you would like to see them do? And then we'll get to Colonel.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell people what they should be doing to make a successful show. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily that, but like, what's an idea that you would like to see done at cons that hasn't been approached or done well yet?
Well, I mean, there's a show we just did in Orlando called Phantasm. It was their 3rd year. And in their 2nd year, they were really attempting to kind of meld the haunt thing into it, which I think they did a really strong effort. But in the 3rd year, they kind of eliminated that. I was kind of disappointed they didn't go harder with it. But there's some things like that can be fun. Adding like a legit like haunted attraction element to a convention or a concert element, some place, like Horror Hound does a concert. I'd like to see more more of that stuff. Like when they did Indianapolis, I don't know if you guys were there, and I brought John 5.
John fucking
Yeah.
5. Fuck yeah, that was awesome, man.
I mean, that was fucking cool, right? I mean, and that was hard to pull together, because I mean, I book celebrities for autograph signings. Booking a concert was a different animal, and so I had to get involved in that to pull that off. But it was a blast, and then we got Charlie and Benante and Scott Ian up there to play with them. That was great. And Carla Harvey.
I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That was my. I mean, what else? You've had Unknown Hinson in there. That was pretty cool. That Johnny 5 was.
They had the Necromantics one year.
There was something. Was it the Coffin Band or something? What was that one, Colonel?
Coffin Cats.
The Awesome Cats. Coffin Cats.
Coffin Cats.
Yeah, Coffin Cats. Yeah, that's
my personal favorite was when they had the Heathens play. That was like, I didn't see that. I played drums for the Heathens. we played one year. It was actually our last show ever. That was in 2017 or something. I don't remember. It was when they put out that record. It's only a movie, that Horror Hound covers album.
Right.
We did a couple of songs for that, so we played that night. But it was a blast. I just had it was so much fun playing. So,
fucking drummer, man. See.
All right.
Now, so I want to take it back a little bit, because I was gleaming with hometown pride earlier. So these guys know, as a local Cincinnatian, where is Nathan taking you to have chili at, and which one's your favorite?
Oh God, here we go. He hasn't taken me anywhere to have chili. He's taken me these places to have spaghetti with like a sauce on it. But yeah, he's yet to take me to a chili place. I don't know.
Ooh, not the answer you were looking for, was it, Colonel?
You either love it or hate it.
It was pretty bad, man. I got to tell you, the first time he took me to Skyline, he was talking it up. I go, dude, I love chili, man. Let's do this. And they brought it out and they put it in front of me, and I'm like, I thought we were getting chili. What is this? This is spaghetti with some sauce on it. And he's like, no, this is the chili. Well, this ain't fucking chili.
It's Cincinnati style. It is so chili.
Yeah.
It is fucking chili.
I saw him tell this story at your panel with Chris, man. That was the funniest shit ever.
Yeah. No, it's funny.
I remember that. You asked you that. If someone asked you there at the panel, do I remember that?
Yeah. No, it's it's not for me.
I would say Greg Crank is a fan of Skyline chili.
I am.
Zag still hasn't tried it yet.
Hey, you know what? I like Little Caesars pizza once in a while too. Doesn't mean it's great pizza.
Right. I'm of your mind. If I'm gonna eat spaghetti, I want a nice marinara sauce, a meat sauce, or something. Not like that. It just seems too weird to me. Not that I won't try it, but I mean.
Oh, you've never tried it?
No, I didn't.
Every time I've taken them with Skyline, he will not.
Twice.
He gets fries. He gets just the fries. No chili.
I get some fries. Well, if you recall, last time I had half my mouth was shut down. I couldn't eat anything.
I'm sorry, it's a Cincinnati thing, man. I gotta ask.
This weekend, bro.
We're going
for the team. Take one for the team.
That's right. Do it.
These assholes film it too. It'll be the segment of the fucking show next week.
I did hear that this year is the return of Zombie Dogs are coming back.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
they're coming back. If you're a fan of them, I personally like them. I personally like. There's the stand that's usually next to them that has the rice bowls. I love that stand, and also that guy Donnie who started doing the barbecue. That shit was good too, man. So I always eat like a pig at Horror Hound Weekend. And that family that has the candy shop that brings the gummies.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Those 50/50 bar gummies, the vanilla orange ones, are the bomb, man. I get a big bag every year. So.
I like the La Rosa's pizza. I think that's good Cincinnati pizza, man. That's good stuff.
I've never tried it. Never tried it.
That I can speak on.
Don't get it at the con.
Don't get it at the con.
If they're a vendor,
definitely.
Oh, okay.
Actually go to a pizzeria.
That ain't gonna happen. That's the thing. I'm stuck there. I eat what's there. Although that brewery place across the street's pretty good. You guys eat there. We haven't
eaten there yet.
We almost did
this
last time. But...
Yeah, it was like a fucking hour wait or something.
It was good though. It was good. Yeah, I'm ready. I want to try that cotton candy beer, man. I'm ready.
Right. I don't know if I can do the cotton candy beer because that last one they had last year was rough.
I'll meet up with you and I'll try it with you because I'm a beer connoisseur out of the three of us.
I'm not really a drinker at all, but I'll try. I'll give it a shot. I'm just curious. Some of those guys that, like, I went to the grocery store last night and I saw they had these new, they're called boppers, they're these Twinkie balls with like a glaze around them. Have you seen this?
No.
It's a new Twinkie product. I love Twinkies. I don't like eat Twinkies like crazy, but I love Twinkies. And I saw it and I was like, I'm a sucker for any new variant. So I got it, and they're terrible. They're so sweet. They're so. I mean, I tried one. My girlfriend tried one. She's like, nope. And I'm like, yeah. Well,
there's a balance on the Twinkie, and I don't think you can. Once you meet perfection there, that's it. Any kind of variation's not going to work. No. Of course.
Well, Twinkies also changed somewhere in the mid 2000s, and they're not the same as I remember when I was a kid.
Really?
They just don't taste the same.
Well, yeah, they shut it down for a little while, but then somebody bought it and they started. Yeah.
Did they bring it back? Okay, because I remember getting some at one point and I was turned off by them completely.
Well, Wonder Bread owned them, and then they sold them, and then somebody took Hostess over. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for them to bring back, like, they need to bring back like the fucking Chocodile, and I need the fruit pie magician needs to come back. I want all those cool characters, Captain Cupcake or King Ding Dong, all that shit. Bring them back.
See,
why is it just fucking Twinkie the Kid? It's just like Twinkie the Kid. Like, come on.
I remember all of them.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about what do you think about the current state of horror, like with studios like A24 and their whole elevated horror genre that they're subgenre they're trying to push. Do you think slashers like Jason, Michael, Freddy are due for the scrap heap now, or what do you want to see in horror?
I do like some of that A24 stuff. I loved Hereditary. I didn't really care for Midsummer too much. I thought The Witch was really good. I mean, it's slow as fuck, but it was effective, and I love the ending. But it doesn't have a whole lot of repeat value for me,
Okay.
But as far as slashers go, I mean, I loved Black Phone. I thought Black Phone was really good. But then, like, something like Freaky, I thought was just lame,
That's the Vince Vaughn one, correct?
Yeah. I mean, it was, like the first Happy Death Day, I thought was a lot of fun. The second one I just thought was so stupid. I was like, really? Like, it, but I mean, as far as, I'm at the age where it's really, really hard to scare me. Jump scares don't do it for me anymore. I mean, I need to get under my skin. Hereditary made me uncomfortable. Session 9 made me uncomfortable. Movies like that I was sitting in the theater going, fuck, man, this is like, looking around, you're going, fuck, that's that. I mean, I love a good slasher movie if it's done well. I mean, I was really surprised with like The Strangers Part 2, like that movie. I was like, wow, this is like a really good, fun slasher movie. It's simple, but it was well done. It was fun. I enjoyed it. There's been some real, they try real hard with, but like, I mean, like the last Scream movie, it had a couple good kills, but it's not doing it for me. I mean,
I'm sorry, Skeet Ulrich reflection. Looking with pride at his daughter was the absolute dumbest thing I've ever seen in any movie ever.
Well, my issue with that is, number one, they made the CG they used on him to try to make him look younger, made him look weird. And, and honestly, he looks so good for his age. They didn't need to do that.
No.
Number two, how are you having visions of your dead father wearing the outfit from the end of Scream when you would have never seen him like that? There's all kinds of like, it's just stupid.
I'm still trying to figure out how the Ghostface costume can take a girl that's 5'0" and make her 6'2" like I am.
Yeah.
and have the power to
overpower Dewey when she's
Dewey,
like
yeah.
90 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I don't have much faith in the next film at all, especially with like them cutting Nev out of it and everything.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not interested.
Now speaking of current slashers, that really surprised me. Have you seen X yet?
I did, and I like Ty West stuff, but I thought the acting was really good. I thought the set design and period of the 70s, they did really well. My issue with it was I just felt the antagonist was not scary. I mean, just some old woman, I mean, literally walk up to you and you'd be like, hey, are you okay? And she just goes, stab. It's like, there's nothing scary about that. I mean, that's what really lost me. It was building up to this. Oh, fuck, this is going to be the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is fucking awesome. Wait, it's just this old lady and what? I was really let down by where it went. I was psyched for it too. And Pearl just looks corny as fuck. I mean, they're marketing it so like goofy. I don't like goof. I don't want goofy.
I hope that's with intent, though, to show you this nice, friendly, it's all blustery and flowing and everything, and they barely really give you anything. I hope it's so goddamn demented that it just, you're going to need a shower when you walk out of there, you know?
Yeah, I hope it's super dark and it's not silly.
Right.
Because they're marketing it very silly. You know?
Just based on what we saw on X, I'm torn. I did like X, so I'm looking forward to Pearl. I will ask you about one, though, if we're going to talk about slashes a little bit. What do you think of Art the Clown in Terrifier?
I mean, and I work with a lot of these people. I don't work with David who plays Art, but I do work with Damien Leone,
and you just signed the new Laverne girl, correct?
Yeah, Lauren Laverne. Lauren. And the one who plays her little brother, Elliot.
Right.
Anyway, and the funny thing is, I've been friends with Elliot and his parents since he was a little kid. I'm good friends with them. I've gone to their house and gone to dinner with them. This is like long before Terrifier 2. I'm so stoked and proud of the kid. That's awesome.
Nice.
And I have high hopes for Terrifier 2. I mean, but here's the thing. I'm not somebody that I like a good kill in a movie. Yeah. But I'm not somebody that goes for the gore. I'm not there for that. And the first Terrifier as a movie I thought was terrible. I think it's a very cool character, but I didn't think it was a very good movie. And I'm hoping, and I've talked to Damien about this, I've been very straight with him about it, and he's assuring me, Terrifier 2 is going to be very different. So, but then I hear it's like fucking 2 hours and 20 minutes long. I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta really like a movie to sit that long through a movie,
Right.
So we'll see. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited to see it.
Well, what are some of your favorite horror movies of the last 5 years, though?
Oh, the last 5 years?
Yeah. You mentioned Hereditary, so. And The Witch, I guess, would still count in there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit older. God, I don't know, dude. There aren't too many that I'm really excited about. Black Phone would probably be in there. That was a surprise. Actually, I really liked Dr. Sleep, especially the director's cut.
Yeah.
The director's cut, because it had all that extra, the flashback stuff, it was really good. And I went into I'm a huge, Shining's my all-time favorite film. Number one, Shining. And I went into that with no expectations. Like, this is going to suck. I pretty much went into, this is going to be garbage, but I'm going opening night. And I went in with my expectations so low that I think I was so pleasantly surprised that I was blown away. I mean, yeah, it's very, very, very different. But I really respect the different direction they went in, instead of just rehashing the same shit, which they easily could have done,
Yeah.
Other than that, God, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of anything that's come out, and I don't know, man. I mean,
Ready or Not, maybe? Was that one you enjoyed?
I really liked Ready or Not. Yes,
Okay.
I did like that one.
A bunch of shit. I see. Satanic Panic was one that was pretty entertaining.
Oh, that movie, Satanic Panic?
Yeah.
That was fun. It was
fun. Right. It was silly,
yeah. God, I know I'm forgetting some. Let me think here.
Did you see The Sadness?
No.
Oh.
Is that good?
Well, now you mentioned you're not really into it for the gore, so it's a wet film. It's very wet, but
yeah,
it's the dialogue, man, is what's so fucked up about it. It's a Korean film, and it's like 28 Days Later meets The Purge. It's wild.
Oh, last train to Busan.
Yes,
that was really good. And I didn't think a zombie movie would do it for me anymore. I was so burned out on them, and that was good.
That was really fresh air in the zombie genre in general.
Yeah,
a good one. Like
it's such a unique. It's so unique though that with the language barrier like that, everything came through. Even with the subtitle, it all came through. You were with those people, man. So I mean that's where I find it stands apart from most of the films from that side of the world.
And I'm a softie, man. That shit made me cry at the end, man. I was fucking bawling. I'm like, the dad, I'm like, no, man.
Sacrifice.
Well, Dr. Sleep got me at the end, too, when he's talking to the bartender. I mean, good Lord.
And what a great character, the Hat. I mean,
Rose the Hat.
Rose the Hat.
Yeah, Chris Nelson hated that character. He said her stupid fucking hat.
Wait, you mean Academy Award winning Christopher Nelson?
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. And this is true. This is true.
I remember one episode he was giving you hell about on that. That was just so. I just remember one episode you and he were talking about that, and he was giving you hell about it. I think a long time ago.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's always going to be Academy Award winning Chris Nelson. But I was going to say one movie I'm really looking forward to that looks really good that I'm psyched for. If you guys haven't seen the trailer for, watch it immediately. Is Barbarian. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Yes.
Yep. That looks really good. I know somebody who worked on it, and it sounds fucking amazing. I'm pretty psyched for it. So it sucks that it's coming out this weekend, so I won't be able to see it till I get home from Horror Hound. But
that one, and then Smile is the other one that it looks pretty fucked up.
The trailer looks good, but I read reviews and everybody was saying the trailer is pretty much all the good shit. So, yeah.
Damn it!
I'm just really surprised none of you guys are on the same train I am when it comes to the monsters coming out. I can't say that serious. I'm sorry.
No.
I gotta say I'm actually kind of excited to see it. I know there's so many haters. I mean, Rob Zombie can't win with anybody, but I until I see it, I'm not going to shit on it. I will say the trailer looked terrible, but I don't think it looked terrible. I thought it was a terrible trailer. I thought whoever put this trailer together should not be putting trailers together. But I thought what I saw had a lot of potential. So,
yeah. See, I'm the zombie supporter on this cast quite often. So even that trailer, I was kind of like, huh. We'll see.
Well, I did go back and watch it in black and white, and it, to me, from watching the monsters as a young person, and seeing it in black and white, that did help it a little bit when I watched that trailer in black and white. So.
Yeah, I think that is something that it's hard for old school people to get past. I mean, if you saw the original monsters in color, you'd be like, "What the fuck?" It's not the same. It's not the same.
Monster Go Home. That's that weird kind of off color and shit, and it's
like how they keep trying to remake the Twilight Zone. They just need to let it go. Like you can't. That was a certain time period. They worked, I'm a big Twilight Zone nerd, and if you watch those the episodes that are shot on film and then the ones that were shot on video, there's just something. This is going back to the old one. I'm talking about the old one.
Right.
They shot some on video and they look like soap operas. It immediately takes you out of it, just the look. And then also when they did that run of hour-long episodes, it did not work in an hour format. Those hour-long episodes are almost all terrible. I mean, I've been rewatching them recently. They're so hard to get through the fucking hour-long ones. You're just like, oh my God. In 24 minutes, it's perfect. You can tell one of those stories, but dragging it out for an hour, ugh.
You know what? I caught some lost episode or something, and it was like a holiday Twilight Zone. Mm-hmm. You know which one I'm talking about? The guy had the bag of toys, and they were accusing him of being a thief. They were going to arrest him and everything. He had presents for every.
That's the one with Art Carney.
That's Art Carney, yes.
Yeah.
That's one of those video filmed ones, though.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking, this looks fucking like it's live. You know what's going on?
Yeah. Although that's still a good episode, it looks terrible. Yeah.
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 Say that look, and it's like, I don't remember any Twilight Zones being like this, and
yeah, they did. I think, I don't know what the reasoning was why they did that, but they maybe for budgetary reasons. But yeah, there was a run there where they were doing them on video, and they just looked like shit. They just, it takes you out of it. That's the thing with even film versus digital. There's just something that you can't replicate that quality of film. There's. Digital cannot, whether it be the depth or whatever it is. Man, you watch a movie like Halloween 2, Halloween 3 that was shot 235, fucking, Panavision, The Shining, of course. Look at that, and then you can't replicate it on digital. You can't. No. It doesn't have the same vibe. It looks exactly like something you're watching on Netflix. It doesn't look theatrical, in my opinion. Yeah. Of course, we're a dying breed here, I'm gonna go to my grave clutching on my fucking 16 millimeter, whatever. In my day,
That's right. Get off my lawn.
Damn kids.
Exactly. Yeah. Get the fuck off my lawn.
We're keeping you a little longer than we normally like to, but Colonel, you got one more last question for him before we let him go?
Not really a question, just again, thank you for letting me know to zip my hoodie up in March.
Yes, he had the Tom Atkins.
Oh, when he had the Tom Atkins.
Yeah, the Tom Atkins hoodie.
Good looking out, my friend.
Yeah, you know what? When I said that to you, as I was saying it, I'm like, I hope this guy doesn't think I'm being a dick. I'm literally trying not to have his experience ruined.
Right. Oh, no. Because he was thinking the opposite. He thought he's going to really think this is funny, and...
Yeah, and then...
I should know better, because that wasn't going to be the first time I met Tom. The first time I met Tom was kind of funny, the interaction I had with him. I noticed he had some beer, so I was just bullshitting with him, joking. I was like, hey, if you need some help finishing a six-pack, you let me know. He's like, no.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Which is funny. So, this one, I didn't take it as you being a dick. I was like, I'm listen to John.
Not at all.
I think a lot of people, it's funny, is I hear some people say, oh, yeah, I met Tom Atkins, and he was a dick, or he blew me off, or, I said hi to him, and he didn't even look at me. A lot of people need to know he's almost stone cold deaf. So, if you think he's, ignoring you, or maybe he didn't, 9 times out of 10 he didn't hear what you said. So
right,
I got that. I was asking him about a Fog character over the Halloween 3 character, and he just went, what do you want me to say? He did an ID for the show, and he just went right over that. I was like, okay, I'm not going to push it.
Yeah,
I think one of the funniest experiences I had with him, we were in Manchester, England last year at a convention. And he comes up to me and he goes, Sean, he goes, they want me to do this Q&A thing. You need to get up there on stage because I can't fucking understand what they're saying. So he literally had me sit next to him on stage. You can find it on YouTube. I'm sitting next to him in a chair on stage during a Tom Atkins Q&A with another guy interviewing him, and literally the guy would ask a question or a fan in the audience would ask the question, and then Tom would turn to me and I go, they want to know what it was like to work with John Carpenter. And he'd go, oh, John, okay. You know, it's like because he couldn't hear them, and he was having a hard time with the accents, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I love your
with Dane Cundy. What's he like? Is he a good bloke, eh? You know, and he's like, what the fuck did that guy say? You know. So.
Your Tom Atkins is spot on, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Spent a lot of time with him.
Well, and the when we saw him do the Halloween 3 Q&A not too long ago.
Creep show.
Yeah.
Or Creep Show. That was it. Yeah. And he on stage was just like, I can't hear a fucking thing. Somebody tell me what he said.
Yeah.
You know, it was hysterical.
Yeah, it's funny. He does this thing. It's hilarious. Like, he'll be sitting there and, like, say somebody in the audience is asking the question, and he looked down and he'll be like this. And then they'll finish the question. They'll go, I don't know what the hell you just said. And that's it. Like, it's almost like a defense mechanism. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like maybe he's embarrassed a little bit because he can't hear him, but he laughs. It's kind of an uncomfortable laugh. He goes, fuck it. He's I'm too fucking old to care. You know, I'll tell you what, one thing that's been really tough about doing what I do, as long as I've done it, I'm creeping up on 20 years now representing people for conventions, is seeing them get older and losing some of them. And the thought of losing some of them is really weighs heavy on me. You know, because I'll be honest with you, I love Tom. And Nick Castle and Nick has become almost like a father to me. I mean, I'm not like, you know, bullshitting. He really has. And, you know, I think about it, man, it's going to crush me, you know, like, and my dog, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it'll definitely crush me. I mean, like, you know, I've lost a few clients over the years, you know, Richard Brooker and Corey Haim and Brooke McCarter. I mean, there's been a few that I've lost. And you know, like Ted White is, you know, he's not gonna be around much longer.
95. I mean,
96.
You know how he's 96 now, and he just said, you know what, I just can't do him anymore. And then he said he was done. I mean,
yeah.
Did you ever get to host him for one or have him for one?
Oh, I booked him for like 15 years. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm close with him. I went to his house about 3 times during the pandemic just to check in on him. His wife is pretty much his caregiver. She's like 25 years younger than him.
Wow.
But I saw him about 8 months ago. I went to his house, and he didn't remember me. It broke my heart, you know. And I'd be sitting there talking to him, and then every once in a while he'd come out of it, you know, and like, because he was sitting there talking to me, and he's like, "So what do you do? Are you in the business?" He likes to say the business a lot. "Are you in the business?" And his wife goes, "Ted, he's your agent." And he's all, "You are," you know, and like, I mean, and then, you know, but then every once in a while he would just be like, "Hey, remember that time we were at that steakhouse in Chicago?" And I'm like, yes, Ted, you know,
Yeah.
and it, you know, but I'll be honest with you, I hate to say this, but I mean, I don't want to go back because it broke my heart, you know.
I mean, he's my favorite of all the Jasons. I love Kane.
Yeah.
Kane is the coolest motherfucker, and he has said some vile shit for our fans and in videos and promotion for us. It's great. But I've never met Ted White, and that's one that I'm not going to get. Much like George Romero, I fucking just missed that one. You know, he was here in Michigan, where I'm at, and
Yeah.
I missed it, and it still hurts. You know,
I was at that show, Motor City Nightmares, and I looked at him that weekend, and I said, "This is the last show. I can just tell." He looked so frail. He looked so bad that weekend. I was just like, man. I mean, I looked at him and thought to myself, he shouldn't be here right now signing. He looks that bad.
The last time we saw Sid at Crypticon in Kansas City, we thought the same thing. I was just like, man.
I thought that about Sid for like the last 2 years. He looked, I mean, every time I saw him, I was like, man, he doesn't look, I mean, he hung on a lot longer than I expected, to be honest with you.
When we saw him, though, I mean, that's when I turned to Crank and went, dude, I don't think he's going to do any more of these, you know? I mean, you could just tell, you know? I mean, it sucks. So I absolutely feel what you're talking about, bro. That's
but not to bring the mood down or anything.
Right. No.
But that's something that weighs heavy on me is like, you know, because I have had this conversation with Tom. You know, he said it straight up to me. You know, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do these. You know, and you know, and yeah, it's just a bummer because it becomes for me. You know, like I go to Nick's house, Nick's come over to my house. So like I said, he and I have become real close. But a guy like Tom who lives in Pittsburgh, the only time I see him is at these conventions. So I get to see him a few times a year. We hang out, we go to dinner. It's like awesome. But when that's gone, you know, it's like with Ted, you know, Ted hasn't done a convention now. It's probably been, I don't know, 3+ years. And I knew he was not before the pandemic hit. I knew he was done. I talked to his wife about it because his dementia was getting to a point where she was afraid he was going to get lost in the airport, you know, things like that. So I knew he was done. But, you know, just to watch them decline, I mean, we're all headed there. But it's, you know, seeing your heroes get old sucks. I mean, it's just like, you know, it's in everything, you know, the bands we grew up with, you go see their concert, I'm like, man, that guy should not be on stage anymore. He can't sing, you know? But you know, it's a bummer, man. And to be a guy like Ted, I mean, you know, I used to have these conversations with Ted because, you know, he's 96 and I've been working with him a long time. And he would constantly tell me about like pretty much all his friends had died. I mean, they were all gone. And it's like, man, what is that like to be like the last man standing? Like everybody you knew is gone, you know? It's fucked up. It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't like to think about it.
It's a lesson, though. It's a lesson, though, you know? A reminder to go out and live your life. Take chances, you know? Enjoy it.
I had a client email me this morning. I'm not going to say who it was because that's her privacy. But she said, hey, you know, can you look at some shows for me in, like, Sweden? And she named all these different countries. Like, she go, you know, and she said, you know, I just kind of thought to myself, at my age, I need to try to see as many places as I can because I'm not going to be here much longer. And I was like, man, that is such a bummer. I mean, and you know, and she's in her 80s. I get it, you know, and I was just like, I was like, man, that's not why I want to book you, but I mean, you know, I mean, it's like, I mean, I'll see what I can do, but it was a fucking bummer, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, like you said, we all got to get there though at some point.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, and like so many people I know are just dropping, you know, like random, you know, just randomly people you know, my age, you know, or even a little younger, you know,
right?
Makes you want, you know, fucking one day just like, oh, you know, or like an aneurysm or, you know, fucking stroke or something. And it can all change like that. So enjoy every fucking moment while you can, man. Yeah. I mean, because we ain't getting any younger.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
let's
somebody
asked something.
Yeah. Well, I just want to. I kind of want to just, you know, wrap it up and say, make sure to check out when they have new episodes of The Thing with Two Heads with Sean and Christopher Nelson. Hopefully, more episodes of that are coming out when you guys can arrange a schedule.
We're hoping we're going to have a very, very, very special guest on our next episode.
Cool. So, are you guys going to be doing any panels at Whorehound?
No, well, Chris isn't there.
He's not there.
Not coming. Not coming.
No, he's not coming. So Yeah, so we won't be doing any at Horror Hound, but we're, like I said, we've got a special guest who's supposed to come on, and we're just trying to get the schedules to work out, and hopefully be making a really big announcement for something going on next year. We'll see.
That'll be a good one. That'll be a good one.
Right.
I think I kind of have an idea. I think.
I think we all probably settled on that same name there, but I'll let it go for now.
Okay.
And you can check out Sean's YouTube channel at the link that I'm throwing in the comments right now. Just look for Malfunction. S-E-A-N.
Not the greatest name. Yeah, S-E-A-N.
S-E-A-N.
Yeah, I need to.
I got it. I've been read it right away.
I've been toying with changing the channel name just to make it more accessible, because everybody tells me, or at least a lot of my content creator friends, the big boys like Grim Life Collective and Adam the Woo and those guys, they're all like, I think your channel would be blowing up a lot more if it wasn't for the name, because it's hard to spell, not easy to remember. So I don't know. Well, I'm toying with the idea of changing it. I'm just trying to come up with something clever,
All right.
But,
all right. We'll be ready, and we'll share it along. But I got one more thing before we let you go.
All right.
Yeah.
When you get out and you get to Cincinnati this week, and you head out with Nathan to go get your snacks and everything, remind him that the Friendly Neighborhood Death Curse Society would still be interested in hosting a panel there. And we tried to get that lined up and everything. I got a shameless plug, and I have to. I don't know if we'll be able to talk to him again. So
what you've wanted to, like, you guys just want to host a panel with like if it was a Halloween 3 one, you guys like
exactly. He
moderate.
He said the guy he's got is great. We love him, And you guys did one couple of cons ago, but then they brought in a different podcast to do one at the last one, and then so we ran into Nathan and said, "Hey man, how do we?" And he said, "Funny you should say that." He goes, "Sean said he doesn't want to do one every show, so we're going to have some of these podcasts come in." I just said we'd like to throw our hat into that ring, but then that was the last day of the con, last Horror Hound.
Yeah, we want to do our game show live at a convention somewhere too. So because we have a game show that we do.
Yeah, I've always thought like a really good horror trivia like game type thing, because I do a horror trivia thing, and I don't host it, but I'm on a team, and once a month we do this thing in LA, and it's all a bunch of fucking Hollywood elitists that try to fucking outdo each other, and I mainly just go to try to beat them, but it's a lot of fun. It's just gotta be tough though. I mean, it can't be like what was fucking who was the killer on Friday the 13th? No, I mean that stuff like that. That kind of shit. I mean the questions at this fucking place, they're crazy. Like what was the license plate on Ash's station wagon and Evil? I mean it's like that. Questions are like fuck, what the fuck, So it's tough. They don't mess around.
Yeah, I've done horror trivia a few times and thought it was pretty fucking good. I'm not that good.
No, I've taken some people to the horror trivia thing, and they all leave going, "Yeah, I thought I knew my shit. Yeah, I don't know shit."
We're gonna have to come up with a special edition of Curse Your Luck and have you on like the elite edition. You know what I mean?
Have him and maybe Chris go against each other.
Oh man,
Chris, I think Chris will admit that he'd lose to me.
Yeah.
But
I think he has on your show. I think actually.
I don't remember. He did play on our team once. And he had a lot of fun. I don't think we won that night though. There's one team that, fuck man, they are so good. Do you know who Brian Collins is?
Name sounds familiar.
Does the what is it? Horror Movie a Day. He's a writer for various websites. Anyway, he's on the team. Dave Parker, and if you know Dave Parker, did the Hills Run Red movie and Dead Hate the Living. He's a writer director. I mean, their team is really good. So it's usually us and them duking it out. So, but Let me think. What the fuck was I going to say? I don't remember. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the channel, Malfunction, whatever, the Horrors Hallowed Ground stuff, the collection stuff, thing with two heads. I'm in the process of editing the Lost Boys episode of Horrors Hallowed Grounds right now. It's a beast of an episode. I was hoping maybe I could try to get it done before Horror Hound. I'm trying. I doubt it, but I'm trying. It's just I'm very meticulous. I'll fucking work. I've been working on that thing. I was just talking to my chick. We shot that episode last August.
Jeez.
Yeah. Hold on. Can you hold on just 1 second?
Yeah, man.
I gotta pee so bad. I can't. When I gotta pee real bad, I can't think straight.
I
want to do a proper goodbye. Hold on.
Okay.
Proper goodbye. All right. We can sit for a minute. See that?
Well,
not every guest gets to fucking go and take a piss on live TV, and we just carry it through, man.
Dude,
hang out for a minute, Colonel. We're almost there.
I know, but I'm saying, Zach, I appreciate a good shameless plug. But fuck, man.
I'm just going right to the source, man. He's going to be with the guy, and I'm trying to not deprive the world of our genius, man. I'm trying to get us out there.
That was real shameless.
Shameless. Yeah. It's okay, though.
Not that this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Sean, but Nikita from YouTube says, so Pearl got some fantastic glowing reviews at the recent press screening this weekend, especially Mia Goth's performance, and most said it was a major step up from X.
Cool.
So, I'm looking forward to it, but
yeah.
I have seen some other reviews that have called it pretty campy, and we'll see.
Like I can't. I'm learning. If I've learned nothing else, the last, several years with this, I can't go on anybody's word anymore. I got to see it for myself.
Oh God, no.
And straight up, eat the smallest little nuances, change an opinion, and I think that's especially with a movie like this. And it seems like the Ty West stuff in general. There he
so
is.
much
All
better.
right.
So much better.
Yeah.
Wow.
There we go.
I'm all relaxed now. I was sitting there like I was pinching it off there, man. It was
good, because now we can go another 2 hours, right?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Colonel's looking at me like, you motherfucker, you better wrap this up.
5 a.m.
What I did, when at the beginning when I said, and you said 10 minutes to come back,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna barbecue some burgers as soon as I jump off here, and I was getting the patties ready and seasoning, and I got them all ready just to throw on the grill. So that's what I'm doing as soon as we wrap this up.
Nice.
Well, good, man. Well, yeah, we greatly appreciate you coming on and sharing some stories. Just hanging out. Glad we finally were able to work it all out and get you in here. I can't wait to see you this weekend, man.
Yeah.
So
and let's get together and let's have a beverage, and hang out a bit. Definitely,
we'll try that cotton candy beer.
Gonna try it. It's probably gonna be disgusting, but I'm
tell you what, Sean, the cotton candy beer, it's on me, buddy.
Let's do it.
It's on me.
I'm ready. Right. Yeah, unfortunately, they don't. The Horror Hound doesn't get free beer from them. They do have to buy those. Because the brewer isn't just going to give them free beers.
No.
So, but I definitely want to bring one of those home with me, like unopened. I think that's kind of a cool collectible.
It really is. I saw the design. I'm like, I like this one. Like the Candyman the Candyman. Did you try the Candyman one last year?
I did, and I got to admit, I liked it.
You liked it?
I liked it.
Yeah. Everyone drink.
I did.
That was not for me.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm not a drinker, period. But I'm not really a beer guy. But if I do, I like a Blue Moon, with the orange,
Mm-hmm.
I like it to have a little bit of a little maybe a sweetness to it. Mm-hmm. So I like that. I'm kind of excited for the cotton candy one. I don't know.
All right.
The Kyoto brothers are really pumped for it. They were super stoked when they saw it, and they're like really excited to, I'm so happy for them because I've been such a Killer Clowns fan forever, and it's so cool to see that movie finally get the love. Yeah.
They got a game coming out now.
Video game, man.
All the stuff at Spirit Halloween and all this merchandise, and it's so cool. I've been spending so much money at Spirit. I keep going back and finding more shit.
Yeah, I had to stop myself, but unfortunately I missed out on the Killer Clowns mug I wanted. And then I was like, there's a fleece blanket. I'm like, no, you spent like $200 here. You stop. So it'll be gone when I go back, I'm sure.
Mine in the area hadn't even opened yet.
The one with the popcorn boxes and the two, killer clowns coming out of it, like in the bathroom, the puppet ones or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That thing's $90, man. $90 for that thing. I mean, I bought one, but I didn't like it. I didn't like having to pay $90. But yeah, no, there's some cool shit. I keep finding stuff I didn't know about. Like there's this Trick or Treat Sam figure that I didn't know they did. Here, I'll show it to you. I rather than explain it.
Sam figure. Sorry, Colonel.
No. Hold on, I'll be back.
Oh, now Colonel.
Oh, wait.
Oh, what?
I didn't know they made this one. It's like,
oh shit!
Oh shit! I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah,
the maskless one.
Yeah. So it's like a plush one, but this year they did it with the hard head. Oh,
nice.
Yeah,
that one's nice.
Like I gotta have that.
Yeah.
So, did you manage to grab this? Yeah.
That's the one I
saw it. I saw it, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's a hot item there.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I probably, how much was that thing? Like $30?
$30, I think.
That's all right.
Yeah.
At the Horror Hound, I'm searching for the Thing action figure. That's the poster figure from the poster from San Diego Comic-Con. I'm hearing the price is already about $90, $100 though.
Yeah, I saw one at Mad Monster Party in North Carolina. And my friend was going, dude, the last one, you should get it. And I was like, well, Randy from NECA promised me one, but I haven't gotten it yet. So I'm kind of holding off on getting the free one,
Yeah.
But
fucking fell asleep when the pre-order opened up.
Oh, really?
They were long gone, man. I mean, I got
pretty
the camera
sweet,
like that, They go quick. It's so fast.
And there's that the Zombo figure too. They did the exclusive Zombo, from the Munsters, the character Zombo. They did that figure too. That was an exclusive San Diego Comic-Con, and that character is also played by Jeff Daniel Phillips. Which, so that's kind of cool. You can get him to sign it too.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But I got the Zombo record. I got him to sign that. I don't know, somewhere in here. Oh, you want to see what a nerd I am? Look at this. What I just got.
Uh-oh.
Dude, I saw this on fucking. Remember, I was talking about Chris Makepeace. Like, I love My Bodyguard and Meatballs. I found this original promotional tank top from My Bodyguard.
No way,
dude. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a picture online of Matt Dillon wearing one of these back when the movie came out. So it's in pretty mint condition.
Wow.
That's pretty sick, man.
That was one of those movies that I watched on constant loop on Select TV.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, that's there's something about, I don't know, it's just the era or whatever. I mean, I saw that movie at the drive-in when I was like 10 years old. I loved that movie. I've been to all the locations. I went to Chicago and I snuck into the high school and I got chased out, but I was able to get through most of it before I got booted. I got into the gym, the locker room, the hallways, and the main the auditorium where they chase them through an auditorium where they're like on stage for rehearsing something like for a play. I got in there, dude. I was so pumped, man. Love that stupid movie.
It is, but it's just, to me, I was like that age. I was his age, when we were there when that movie came out and stuff. So I guess I could relate to it. It was just cool. It's a feel-good fucking movie that I didn't know why I'm liking it, but I still watch it to this day. I have that. It's one of the DVDs too. I love that.
I just love Matt Dillon. There's a bucket list of somebody I would love to get as Matt Dillon.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, fucking Little Darlings, My Bodyguard, The Outsiders,
The Outsiders.
I mean, the guy has such a body of work, man. Something About Mary. I mean, I even loved that Wayward Pines show he was on. I thought that the first season he was on was great.
That first season was really good, and then it got weird. It got even weirder.
Jason Patrick.
Jason Patrick.
Yeah.
There's one I have. Oh, look who it is calling. Nathan Hanneman.
Nathan Hanneman.
Nathan, hold on, putting you on speaker. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Hey, you there?
Yeah.
I'm on a live podcast right now. Say hi.
Hi. Why am I on the live podcast right now?
Death Society want to know why you won't let them moderate a panel at Horror Hound.
Come to March.
What's that?
Come to March.
We already are.
So you have a
Yep,
you have a
we'll be
commitment. You have a commitment that they can host the panel in March.
Sure.
Okay, there you go. See how easy that was.
Now, Sean, you're gonna have to explain how this worked out. Don't tell him. Yeah.
Well, I get 10%, right? If they get paid. Yeah, you got to pay them. They don't work for free, man. Oh, Death Curse Society. Hey, I'll call you back as soon as I'm about to wrap up. I'll call you back in a few minutes.
Hi, Nathan.
Bye, Nathan.
Later.
See you in a few days.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, tentatively.
All right, so we're doing March.
There it is.
See how I make dreams happen? Boom.
Boom.
You just got
Tony Moran asked. You guys will be the next Tony Moran. You guys are gonna you guys are hate me, and you'll be like,
no,
Sean Clark, fuck him, man.
You just got yourself another cotton candy beer, is what you did. No. That's what you did.
He doesn't drink.
Well, here's the thing. I could buy him the one he drinks. Zach could buy him the one that he doesn't open and take.
That he collects. Okay.
There you go. That's a
cotton candy Kush. Does that work maybe better than the alcohol? No,
I don't smoke either.
Okay, all right.
I'm kind of a square. I really don't do anything.
No, I'm a square too. I drink a beer, but that's about it. I never get drunk.
Yeah, I was in a straight edge band, for God's sakes.
Oh, wow.
So, this is Buddy. Yeah, he's 9 months old.
9 months?
Nice.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big dog.
Look at him.
Oh, it's one of them wiener pups.
Yep.
Look at him.
He's waiting for me to feed him. It's past the feeding time. That's why he keeps running in.
All right. Well,
all right.
We'll let you go, man. Like I said, we really appreciate you coming on. Can't wait to see you this weekend. Love bumping into you every time we're at a con. So.
And that's what we said when we did first meet him. It's always like, "Hey, Colonel." When we first started going, I was like, "There's that guy again. Who the fuck is that guy? He's familiar. I see him at every one of these cons we go to." Oh yeah, that's Sean Clark, man. And,
well, I don't like that Ghost Adventure show. Fuck that guy. No, that ain't him. It ain't him.
We just like, that guy must be a big deal, man. Because he's always here.
That part's true. Yeah.
There you go.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, he just showed off his big wiener on the show, man. I mean, come on.
Boom. Definitely much bigger than the real one.
Well, Sean, again, thanks for coming on. Can't wait to see you this weekend, and good luck with everything.
Oh,
and, we'll chat again very soon.
I'll see you guys in a few days.
All right. Have a good night. Go get some burgers.
Burger time.
All right, man.
That was crazy.
Well, there we go. We're booked for March. Woohoo!
I know. You guys going to admonish me now? I'm sorry. Now, I'll expect thank yous, gratuitous thank yous, if this does in fact happen. I'm not going to hold him to it.
No. He's going to call Nathan back here right now, and Nathan's going to be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
That's what I'm glad you said. Please explain yourself once we hang up here, because yes. But I don't. Who knows? Maybe I just fucking shattered the iceberg of Whorehound for Death Curse Society with that. Sorry.
Maybe.
Yeah, my hometown convention that he ranks number one.
Watch him say. Hey, Nathan, they say they got this game show. That sounds like it'd be pretty cool to do. Let them do that in March.
All I need is the door to be cracked, and I will fill him all in on that. That's all I need.
Maybe this opened the crack a little bit.
Maybe. And
I don't mean it like
forever
that.
be indebted to Mr. Clark. If that does happen, that'll be great.
Stop it, Colonel.
Wow.
Do you need to
somebody? You know?
Do you need to flick the bean a little bit? Oh my God! Thank you guys for watching. Jesus Christ, we've gone.
What's left to say? I mean,
there's nothing much to say.
We've gone a little bit over tonight. Thanks to our final girls: Corey, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, S. Michael, Patricia, Tanya, and Tyrone, and of course our crazy Ralph Raymond. Raymond, see you soon. Camp counselors Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, and Dave. And also S. Michael and Christy. Maybe see you guys. Well, I know I'll see S. Michael soon. But yeah. Ziggy, send them out.
Oh, baby. We're 4 days away from partying with some of the best horror fans on the planet in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's Whorehound, DCS, in-house. Maybe. We may be banned at the door now after that selfish and half-baked comment I made there. But, you know, you got to take these shots when they come up. I don't know. We'll see. But at any rate, we'll be at this one. We got panels to get, The Thing, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. What else we got on there, boys? There's a bunch of shit. The Hocus Pocus, Walking Dead. There's a bunch of stuff. And then, I meant to ask him on this, too. I know this isn't one of his clients, but Ian McKellen of Zombie 2, Zombie Flesh Eaters, whatever you want to fucking call it. I'm getting this signed this weekend.
You're going to have him sign that?
I'm having him sign the fucking coffin. That makes this one of one, dude, if I do that. I'm fucking doing it. I'm fucking doing it.
All right, man.
All right.
I'm doing it. It's already been decided. It's mine. I'm not selling the fucking thing. I might as well make it cooler.
You were trying to sell it?
I won't sell it now. Especially if I get Mr. Ian McKellen.
Well, just remember this before you come, man. Just wash your dick so you don't get sick. And don't smell like Scuba Steve. You gotta use some receipt.
I said Ian McKellen. Ian McCulloch.
Yeah, I wondered if you were going to fix that, but you kept saying it. So.
Well, I like him too. I would have him sign it. If he's there, he signs it too, okay?
But
Gandalf.
I know. Fuck off. All right, guys. Next week we will be doing our Horror Hound wrap-up. What?
Pushed that 5 minutes ago. It just fired now.
Oh, okay. Next week, we will be doing our Horror Hound wrap-up where we talk about all things Horror Hound. I have no idea where the fuck I'm going to be when this happens. Probably Cleveland. I don't know. I may be back at the... I may be in the pool. Or with the pool in the background, like before. And follow our social media this weekend because we're going to have way too much fun in Cincy. And I can't wait to get up there. And maybe now we can get Ziggy to actually try some fucking Skyline chili. Or spaghetti with sauce on it.
Maybe they have like a child's portion or something I can try.
Yeah, they got kids 3
Do
ways.
they? All right. We'll see how the teeth are
you
feeling.
Fucking baby, man. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry if it's pizza flavored, you fucking eat it.
Pizza flavor? No, that sounds pizza
no,
flavored noodles.
If it was pizza shaped, he would eat it.
No. You guys got it all wrong. We'll see though. We'll see.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will catch you next time. Have a great night. Woo! What a long show. DCS out.
Rock and roll!
Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
My French, but you're an asshole.